Oh, man, my bad. Man, I have never had that many technical difficulties in my life. All right, so we back, part 2. All right, let me get these call lines open. I know I had a lot of people on the call line, so let me get these call lines open.
There are 2 participants in the conference.
Hey, Dre, go ahead. Talk to me.
Hey, man. As an HBCU alum, that's crazy. I said this when Deion first got to Jackson State. If you play his position, there's nobody else I would rather learn from. I don't care what school it is. To me, it just makes too much sense. If he's a cornerback, I'm learning from the GOAT cornerback. I don't care where he's at, because the stuff that he's going to learn under Deion is going to help him in the league. As good as Florida State is, they're not Deion, and none of the cornerbacks that coach there could teach his position like Deion can. I think the NFL scouts have already looked at Travis Hunter and know, they do this research 3 and 4 years, so they know he's going to be good regardless. But just to learn, if somebody that's in that position, I mean, to me, you can't get that nowhere else. There's only one Deion. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So, I think anybody who plays, it may not work on every other position, but if you're a top DB and you're thinking about, and let's say Georgia or any other school is looking at you, they should be scared if Deion wants him, because he plays that position. And he can always go and be like, come learn from the best. Can't no other coach say that.
None. And to me, that's what goes back. Listen, when you got Deion going against Joe Schmo coaches talking about some, it's just too easy. I mean, you're going against an icon.
Like, even if you're a 10-year veteran, there was consensus GOAT at that position.
Yeah.
So even if you played in the league, you're still not Deion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even if you play, I'm an NFL veteran. Hey, I got a GOAT jacket that I didn't buy. I mean, there is no rebuttal for that. There's not a coach in America that would tell you to their face that they're a better cornerback than Deion.
Yeah. Flat
There's
out.
not. So to me, that helps is that he plays his position. If he was like a DN or O-line, that may or may not happen. But the fact that you play my position, there's nobody else capable and more suited for me to learn from than Deion. So to me, that plays as big a part as anything is the position that he plays.
So let me ask you this. So you think if he was playing quarterback, receiver, D lineman, you don't think they would have came?
Maybe receiver, because Deion played both ways, but he can't pull that I'm the best at that position. You see what I'm saying? That's a card that he could pull. That, think about it. I mean, you interviewed Nugget. What'd he say? I can learn from Deion.
Yeah.
To me, that's simple.
Too simple.
I mean, and they're gonna be in, and both of us has been to Jackson. Everybody gonna be down there. So to me, the position he plays a big part in this.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate the call, Jay.
Okay.
All right, man. Listen, he had to. Listen, this is. If you didn't think this boy was getting money, there's no possible way. Listen, I can give a damn how sweet Deion talked about it. All right. Oh, this, that, the money. Okay. Everybody getting paid. Pay me. All right. Pay me what I'm worth. And he's worth $1 million to Jackson State, because what he's going to bring into Jackson State is going to be 10 times that. So $1 million to Jackson, $1 million to him is nothing compared to what he's going to. Listen, I had a business guy tell me this. He said, you want to know what your worth is? You really want to know what your worth is, or how you figure? If somebody is willing to pay you $100,000, how much do you think you're making him? I'm gonna say that again for the people in the back who didn't catch that. If your employer is willing to pay you $100,000, $70,000, $80,000, just imagine what you're making them. So that's his value. They're willing to pay him $1 million. Imagine what he's going to make for Jackson State. Dion already got you $30 million with him and his son. All right, that was a wash. That's laundry money. All right, that was easy. We know what I'm saying. Money come in, come out, we rinsing it, and we out. All right. But you giving this kid $1 million deal, what do you think he's going to bring to that state, to that? Come on, man. I'm worth it. I'm worth it. A 5-star recruit, I'm worth every bit of it. What's up, Coach Green?
So let's turn my volume down, man. Bruh, Dion out here pick sixing people out already, man.
Really?
Out here
that's how you come
picking off recruits left and right.
That's what we're doing. Come on, man. You gotta come a little hard. Your jokes gotta hit. Listen, your jokes gotta hit today. I'm gonna get some views today, so your jokes better hit today. Before it'd be like 200 people.
You right.
You know what I'm saying? 600 people on here. Come on, man.
This man, the first time he did it with Nuggets, and then his second recruiting class, he come and do it with Travis Hunter, another number one recruit. Yep. Hey, I guess we got to call what you been calling the conference, the Dion, the Primetime Sanders.
No. You're messing up the DSAC, the Deion Sanders Athletic Conference. All right, to get it right. DSAC.
Dude, Twitter is like going crazy with this, man. And why would you fire the coach from FSU, bro? Why you say you got to be fired?
What? This kid has been committed to you since his senior year. and I have never, listen, bro, it's not too many commits that just be like, yo, I'm going here, no ifs and buts about it. I'm locked in. Florida State this, Florida State that, Florida State this, Florida State that. Man, come on, bro. And then a month, maybe 2 months up until he flips on you. And not he don't flip to, I don't give a damn. He don't flip to Miami. He don't flip to Texas. He don't flip to Ohio State. He flips to Jackson State. Are you freaking kidding me, bro? If I was a booster at Florida State right now, get this man out the building, bro. You're fired.
Hey, did you see the dude's face on 24/7 when he was talking about when he was talking to people at Georgia thinking the dude might flip to Georgia?
Nah, yeah. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, he was like, JSU. Like, damn. And you know what? It's kind of crazy. He came to one. What game that was? He came to, and that crowd was like, "You."
I was there. He went to the Soul Bowl game with Alcorn. That's the game he went to.
And you say it was like going crazy out there at that time.
Going crazy? What?
Yeah, how the crowds was in the stands. That's what I'm talking about.
It was packed. Oh man, it was like, bro, that game, it was packed to the, like how they say, to the rooter to the tutor. It was packed from the top of the stadium all the way to the home. It was packed down. That was the best crowd. Like if you wanted to see like that, I mean, I don't know what the SWAC championship looked like, but that Soul Bowl game, it was jam packed.
Dion, that damn Dion, bro. That man knew he had something up his sleeve. What he said on Barstool, bro. He knew he had something up his sleeve. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't think it was that type of flip was gonna happen.
Nobody thought that.
I didn't think it was gonna happen this soon.
No, but listen, bro. I'm gonna say this. I gotta let you go. It's simple, right?
All right.
He had the $1 million Barstool deal in his back pocket. So Dion's like, it can't be the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can get you the money. It can't be the money that is the listen. And who can tell you about Florida State other than Dion? He gonna tell you all the pits, the drops, all the crap he probably had to deal with at being at Florida State, all the politics behind Florida State. He knows that program in and out. Just like he said when he went there to he did it for motivational speaking. He said you can go back and reach from any tape to 80-something to another 80-something or 87 or whatever. What? I
got one more thing for you though, and then you can let me go. What you think them boosters are thinking? Because he supposedly interviewed for that job. What you think they thinking right now?
They shooting themselves. They kicking themselves. Like, see, this is what happens when white people think they're the smartest person in the room. This is what happens when you think that because I'm white and I got money, I'm the smartest person in the room. They forget that at the end of the day, it's about impact. And just because you're a white coach and you're a white this and you got this, if you're an icon and you speak to black people and you understand, you can relate to black kids because that's where your program is.
Hey, don't forget they try to make them kiss the ring too.
That's politics. But I appreciate the call, Coach Green. This is my point. All right. So my thing is this. This is what happens when you think, once again, when you're white and you think you can run the room because you have money, this is what happens to you, right? So now, if we're being honest, a lot of white boosters should be looking at their white coaches a little bit differently because you're not taking in account of. And once again, there's no comparing anybody to Dion. So I'm taking that all the way out the picture, right? Because what they failed to realize, what Florida State failed to realize and what Jackson State capitalized on is that Dion is bigger than any issue you have. Dion is bigger. You got an APR issue, Dion's bigger than that. You got a recruiting issue, Dion's bigger than that. You got an enrollment issue, Dion's bigger than that. Dion is bigger than any issue you freaking have at your university. That's how big he is, right? That's how big his brand is. That's how big his icon status is. So if Florida State was, I don't give a damn how many white Florida State people come in here and talk about, whatever. No, you fucked up. All right, I'm being 100% real. We're gonna be candid out here. You effed it all. You fumbled the bag all the way up because this is what you could have. Listen, you knew that Dion's impact on the culture and in football is beyond the eye can see, beyond your white peon brain. All right, so this is what it is. So if he would have went to Florida State, Jalen Ramsey would have been behind him. Dalvin Cook would have been behind him. Tyrann Mathieu would have been behind. Every black DB that has ever grown up and wanted to play the position would have been behind Florida State 100%, especially the icons that came after Dion. The Jameis Winstons, the Dalvin Cooks, the Jalen Ramseys, Warwick Dunn, everybody that's been in and out that program would have all surrounded him and pushed that program to a pedestal beyond belief. But no, you wanted to play politics. You wanted to play, I'm the white guy. I got all the money. Eat it. Eat it. Hold this L all the way. Hold it. Sleep with it at night. Matter of fact, fire your coach because of it, because he fumbled the bag. All right, he fumbled the bag, and now you looking at Dion like, damn. If I was Dion, I would hit you with that. You know what? Oh, y'all got me. I'm feeling it today. Hold up, y'all got me on one now. You got me on one now. Hold up. Hold up.
Look.
This is what Dion's going to tell Florida State if they ever come back around. If they should so ever come back around, this is what Dion's going to tell Florida State.
Looks like you're wearing your signing bonus here. I mean, plus we can see the nice primetime logo already, or what?
Yeah, we got sweatsuits started, jackets started, everything. We got it going on here. Everybody got on jury. Even the baby got a little something. We ready now.
Even the baby has jewelry. Your feelings about going to Atlanta, no doubt it was your first preference.
Definitely. Atlanta or Tampa Bay. And Atlanta chose me, and I'm very pleased with that decision. I can't wait to get to town with Coach Campbell and get with them fans down there and pack them in there.
When Detroit took the other Sanders, I saw a big grin come across your face.
Man, I was so happy. I was kind of scared. I thought Detroit was going to take me. I would have asked for so much money that I had to put me on layaway.
On layaway, huh?
I would have asked for so much money that I had to put me on layaway.
On layaway.
I was kind of scared. I thought Detroit was going to take me. I would have asked for so much money that I had to put me on layaway.
Facts. That you what you think? Listen, it's a power play. It's a straight power play. Florida State, if they ever want to get Deion from Jackson State, they have to do it on all of his terms. There's nothing on his resume he hasn't done. Recruit, did that. Get the #1 player in America from you, did that. Go undefeated in my conference, did that. Win coach of the year, did that. Like, what are you talking about? There's nothing else he has to prove. There is nothing else he has to prove. It is ridiculous. So Florida State, if you ever think about taking Deion away from Jackson State, I'm telling you right now, you gonna have to you better start paying for him now. You're going to have to pay for him now. Put the down payment now. Tell him you're going to pay it over 20 years. It's because it's going to be, listen, it's going to be astronomical. The money, if I'm being honest, and y'all can call me dumb. Y'all can call me stupid. Y'all can say, Scotty, you don't know shit of what you're talking about. I'm going to tell you this. If I'm Deion, I want what Nick Saban has. Pay me what Nick Saban is worth. Nick Saban has done it because he's built a program off Alabama's back. All right. I've done it because I'm Deion Sanders. So you're paying for the name. You're not paying for the facilities and all that type of no. I want what yesterday's price is not today's price. Yesterday's price is not today's price. And I want the bag. I want what Nick Saban has. That's my thing right there. All right. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
So this is Corey, by the way. So do we get Jack Evans in the fold now? Are you hearing any buzz on that?
No, I haven't heard anything about that. Zach Evans?
Jack Evans, the 5-star running back that's transferring out of TCU.
I haven't heard that he transferred yet, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, nothing surprised me at this point no more.
I think it was Mr. Green was saying, I think we all just need to kind of pump the brakes for just a good second and just enjoy this day. Forget all the politics and why we and where and how, because this really could be the hallmark moment for the black community to get our players back in the HBCUs. Yeah, it might take 2 or 3 more years for the rest of the SWAC to catch up. And Hugh Jackson will probably, catapult behind Deion. He'll never be Deion. But I think we're going to see the floodgates open to those programs that want to, as you say, get out the Black Good Old Boy Network and get somebody in there who could bring the resources as far as celebrity and this new NIL stuff. I think that we're really witnessing history behind this. I mean, for real.
No, it is history. It ain't no witness. This is history. This is probably one. Listen, this is going to go down in ages. This is probably the biggest flip ever. This ain't Power 5 to Power 5. This ain't Notre Dame to Ohio State. This ain't nothing like that. This is legit. Jackson State taking the #1 player in the country away from Florida State, a Power 5 school. This is history. Period. Point blank. Period.
It almost feel like the Jesus ready to come back, bro. For real. This is crazy, but I'm loving it.
Hey, appreciate it, Corey.
All
right. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
Hey, man. Hey, this is Trev from PA. What's going on?
Talk to me.
Listen, I'm here at work. I decided to get on Instagram, and I saw the ESPN timeline come up, and I said, Scotty's live. I said, he got to be live.
Got to. Ain't no choice.
Live. I said, boy, listen, he done stole the bag from Florida State. I said, man, it's going to get, listen, I'm going to put it like this. Cancel Christmas for the SWAC.
It's a tough one.
Cancel Christmas for the SWAC, because there's probably going to be more coming. That is, the number one recruit for real. Like, he's doing, sheesh. Wow.
Yeah, I listen, it still has to be played on the field, because listen, not every recruit you got is going to be number one. All right. So let's be very clear. You know what I'm saying? So you got 11 players on there. You got one number one player. Everybody else is pretty damn good, but it's only one number one player in the country, right?
Right.
So there's still gonna be some fight. Teams ain't just gonna lay down. But man, if that defense, if they thought that defense was trouble last year, shit. listen. Yeah, I'm throwing to the tight end every play.
Every play.
I'm going two tight ends.
That emergency route is going to be hot,
man. Going to two tight ends.
I'm not saying it from the player standpoint. Yeah. I'm saying it from like the aspect that the number one player would make the choice to come to Jackson State. That's going to puts everybody on notice, and even other players like, oh, he's making that move. Let me slide over, and then you look at the transfer portal, how that's going to look. Yeah. So yeah. It's gonna be canceled Christmas, bro.
And I like what some people are saying. People are saying that a lot of players are jumping ship. Listen, man, like they always said this. Well, when I was coming out of high school, my coach said, "Do you want to be a big fish in a small pond, or a small fish in a big pond?" Right? And Travis Hunter, his name is going to see you commit to Florida State. That's just another commit. You get what I'm saying? Like, let's be real. Yeah. And if I'm Dion, I'm telling you this. Like, you commit to Florida State. Okay, you're supposed to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's the status quo of it all. But you come down to Jackson State and you put your name in association with Dion in Jackson State. That's history changing. And if I'm being honest, if other players join that, say, like if Travis could call a couple, but I don't want to stack it all on one team, but I'm just saying, like, if Alabama State would have did his damn job, right, and got a decent coach, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Kevin Sumlin, we could be talking about multiple high-level 4-star athletes all being in the SWAC at one time.
Right.
So
yeah, you spitting gospel out there. Keep doing your thing, man.
Hey, appreciate the call, man.
All right,
sir, National Seniors Advisor. First of all, put your reading glasses down. Okay, put your reading glasses down. All right, put the prune juice down, and let me holler at you for a second, pimp. All right, listen, you don't need a national championship to be an all-time player. Okay, you don't need to be. You don't have the national championships. Don't make you a great player. It makes you a great program. Okay, so sit this one out. All right, sit this one out. Okay, just sit this one out for me, for us, please. All right, sit this one out. All right, appreciate you. Hey, caller, you live? Talk to me.
Scotty, what's up, baby?
What's up? Talk to me.
Not much, man. This Mike calling from Tallahassee, man, and this is a major historical shake-up for everybody who don't understand how important recruiting is. This puts a magnifying glass on that fact, because not only does this help your team, but this brings other recruits' eyes towards your program.
Facts.
And this bring attention. Not talking about another race, but for the white folks to peep over a little bit and say, hey, we might need to get on this, because Dion actually wanted to come and coach at Florida State. He wasn't studying no Jackson State at first. He really was trying to go to Florida State and coach. But they dogged the man. They treated him like he was trash and garbage, which I do understand at a point because he really didn't have a lot of coaching experience as far as college-wise in the college ranks. And he had a, I guess, credibility as far as coaching. But at the same time, recruitment means a lot to every college program. And I played at Alabama State. I write in the comments every now and then on your program. And I'm still hurt. And my Alabama State folks don't get mad at me right now because I be at the games. I be at the FAMU games.
Don't say your name. Don't say your name. Just don't say your name.
State, y'all let me down.
Just don't say your name. You good.
Y'all
just don't say
down.
Your name.
Huh?
I said, just don't say your name. You good. Just don't say your name.
Oh, okay. But y'all let me down with the coach, and I do know the coach. I didn't talk with him when I was a player there. Coach Eddie Robinson, much respect to you, but not talking bad about you, but I think we could have went a different route. I think Kevin Sumlin would have been perfect. A Ray Lewis combination with an Ed Reed or whoever would have been perfect. I'm not all up for the celebrity coach, but I think we could have did a much better job at Dion them really showing us. I mean, not just you want a celebrity coach, but look what FAMU doing with Coach Willie Simmons. Now, Coach Willie Simmons, he's a good coach, but with this LeBron deal and the players, I don't even know how he bringing in the players he be bringing in.
Facts.
But that's all I got to say, Scotty, man. Keep doing your thing.
All right, appreciate it, man. Hey, listen, if you're new to the program, right, there's a ticker. Let me show you how this works because you got to be new. There's a ticker that constantly keeps going around. All right. Oh, I don't have the calling number. Oh, I'm so sorry. I was about to get with y'all, boy. I don't even got the calling number. I apologize. I was about to light y'all Bamas up for real. Let me put this call on. Let me. My bad. That's my bad. My bad. Because I was about to get with y'all. I was about to get with you. All right, for real. All right. Hey, what's up, Smash? Talk to
me. Man, hey, listen, Scott, there's a few things, dog. Hey, one is amazing how in less than 24 hours, we were just talking to you about the power of black people.
Facts. That's facts. That's facts.
Give me a bow.
I got you. I got you.
That just was our ancestors. We just gonna show Scotty. That's how I'm thinking. But it's good though. We're on the board. But you know what shit really gonna hit the fan, Doc? They hit the fan today, but it's gonna hit the fan when it affects a school like Alabama. That's what, and I see it coming, Doc. I see it. I'm talking about like when you take one of their boys or one of these. It's here, and it's also gonna hit the fan when that boy walk in that stadium for Celebration Bowl. You know how crazy that thing gonna go. I know he's gonna be in the building.
Got to be.
He's gonna be in the building.
Got to be.
Huh?
I said got to be. Got to be in the building.
With the JSU paraphernalia on, they might mess around and make an announcement. And the number one player in the nation, Jackson State recruit, after the stadium gonna go stupid. You know what I'm saying? But this is a win, dog. And I was just thinking, like how you just saying, all the players can't go to Jackson State, son. This thing is about to be history repeating itself. We always talk about how elders used to say back in my day, Grambling used to beat the brakes off at LSU. Son, that's all they need to take is these players to get on one accord and come back to these HBCUs over with. Pandemonium, destruction. I used to white people gonna be like, we need to do something about that boy.
Hey, man, like on Belly. I don't like that. I don't like that shit at all. You know, eating the banana. That's how white people gonna be. I don't like that. I don't like that shit at all. But let me ask you this, Smash. The real question is, what does Southern do? Because y'all dropped the bag too. I don't care what. I will happily say you dropped the bag, and I'll say that, hiring Dooley. It is what it is. That's how I feel. I give it a B, but I still feel you dropped the bag.
I think, you know what I'm saying? I think we're gonna be okay, man. At the same time, it's like we need to just listen. I'm serious. Listen, I'm serious. We all gonna be okay. I mean, you trying to flip it like, you know what I'm saying? I get it. We gotta step our game up like all the rest of the HBCUs gotta step the game up. We're not the only ones who gotta step it up. You feel me? Like this
This was Jackson State. I mean, with Deion's plan beforehand, we knew we was competing with. It's just getting better and better. And like we was telling you, how you was like the competition on the field wasn't that much. Granted, Jackson State wasn't really blowing people out the water.
No, it wasn't.
Besides A&M, but besides A&M, but like you said, it is 11 other players on that field. You know what I'm saying? And you do have to make up for a lot. But I know every good player can't go to Jackson State. It's not. So I feel like with these recruits coming, they gonna want to go to these other schools. They got that one smart player who not like he don't have the exposure. He just cold. That's sitting back. Jackson State plays Alcorn in the Soul Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Let me go to Alcorn. Jackson State plays Southern in the Boombox Classic. Let me go to Southern. So it's players out there who's sitting back doing their research with all the new information that we giving them. That, you know what I'm saying? The talent about to spread. So you got to think about it like that too, because everybody can't play for Jackson State. All right, boom. Think about this. I'm a cornerback. I wanted to go on the Deion trail. You think I could go over there now? With Nugget and this guy?
Hell no. Hell no, I'm not. I ain't never gonna see the field.
Exactly. But I won't go in the SWAC so I can go to these other schools who play. You know what I'm saying? And then you know the SWAC is now where it always been like this. The top tier SWAC schools, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I can go to FAM. They got a new LeBron deal. We always gonna be flashy. We always gonna be who we is.
I think.
Southern, you know what I'm saying? So
I think
playing this value class under these lights.
I think you need to. So, I think what needs to start happening is Southern and FAM they need to get their NIL money up. They really do, because that's the only way. And FAMU, you know, they always talk about they got money, whatever. But listen, man, Deion has a third party entity pushing his agenda as well. You know what I'm saying? He has a third-party entity pushing his agenda as well. So he got $1 million to give to a young man. Jackson State don't got $1 million to give to a young man, but Barstool do. You know what I'm saying? So you got to figure out how to get sponsored.
Right. He almost got the LeBron James deal and like Clutch Sports on the NBA and the SWAC. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of dope as hell. But at the same time, Scott, like you said, like I also concerned with Jackson State, this stacked team, you know what I'm saying? And if they don't play the talent, that's another thing that it always gonna go back to that. Like I would hate to see a number one player go sign to Jackson State and we break all this history and make all these records and stuff like this, but at the same time, we don't even never see the type of talent that he needs to see for to be proven to the white folks. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So it's like it's a hard one. It's hard. I don't want to dwell on them on, but you know me, Scott. I'm always talking towards the future. You know what I'm saying? We need to make sure all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted. So I love it. I hope all the other players get on the bandwagon and come to this way or come to these HBCUs. But let's dwell in the moment. This is a big ass moment for Jackson State, and Deion Sanders is damn self. So I'll just call it. You pay my respect and let you know what it is. But that was up, son.
Hey, appreciate the call. Hey, you know who's in the portal. Hey, get my likes up. There's 83 likes. I got my man Blue. Sitting on deck. Get my likes up. All right. Get my likes up. I can't bring my man Blue on until you get your likes up. Can you get my freaking likes up? I got 430 people in here. Where we gotta go, babe? Oh shit! She said 250. My bad, Blue. You gonna be on deck for a little bit, Blue. So 250. She said 250. She's standing right here too, looking. Just scheming. While we're here, we'll take a quick commercial break. Let me get my little body armor. And Blue's on deck. I know y'all want to hear from Blue, the boy wonder. All right, get the likes up. All right, so we can get my man Blue in here and he can break all this down, the boy wonder style. All right, come on, stop playing with him. What is that? She said she eating. Get my likes up. And while y'all get my likes up, let me, I got to do this for everybody. JSU, stand up. All right. That's for y'all. I know y'all been waiting for that. It's gonna be. I saw you going here all down Jackson Street. What street we was on? Where all them drink? Well, the bar is at. Where the King Edwards is, that hotel. All right, wherever street that is on King Edwards, that's what it is. Where we at, babe? Okay, we got 205. We so close. All right. He said, boy, you turning up. Hey, yeah, I'm turning up a little bit. All right, I'm gonna take a call while we waiting for these 250. Hey, caller, you live, talk to me.
Hey, what's going on, Scotty? How you been, man?
What's good, man? Chilling. What's good?
All right, brother. This is Ricardo Wright, man. I called back in early of the season, man, when Jackson was playing Bethune-Cookman, and I got that dub, you know, with the score thing, man. But I'm calling back in with this breaking news, man, because you know I'm a Florida native, born and raised, attended FAMU before I joined the Air Force. And now we got this breaking news about the #1 recruit coming to Jackson State. And I'm a huge Florida State fan because my late brother played wide receiver back in Florida State back in '99, won a national championship. So, you know, I'm a diehard Noel. Mm-hmm. Man, that Noel page of fans talking about Travis signing today, I know they just so upset. Including me a little bit, you know, but I love my people. I think it's a great thing. I'm amazed. I'm excited. One of my high school classmates, man, who also attended Florida State. He was part of the Fab Five wide receiver corps, played with Dion. I spoke to him in detail, man. He said, you know what, bro? He said the black colleges just don't really try to recruit our kids out of high school. They always try to like wait for the scrappings. You know, they let the Power Fives come in and the JUCOs, and then they pick up the scraps. He said the narrative need to change, and you seeing it. He's seeing it. Dion, you know, Dion ain't no joke. Dion gonna shoot his shot. He shot it. He kept shooting it. Score. You know, like just through last night, bro, on that Noel page, people's like, oh, Travis, he's a shoe-in. He's signing. You know, he had offers from Georgia and NIL money from Georgia and everything. He turned that all down, bro. I gotta chuckle. It's just funny now to a certain extent, but it's great that what this young man is doing can be a catalyst to other athletes coming home, you know, to HBCU. You know, like I said, back early in the season, MEAC, FAMU, Bethune-Cookman, coming over to the SWAC. Now we part of the family, the SWAC family. Now Travis coming, part of Jackson State. Man, I'm stoked.
It's crazy.
I'm stoked,
man. And it's going. And listen, it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Oh my goodness! And somebody said in the comments, I don't know how much this is true because, you know, coaches do move, but I think CJ Mayo said it. He said he had to let him know that he was going to be at Jackson State for a while, that he wasn't just going to up and leave on Jackson State. So I think that's just as big as anything, that he probably gave him that confirmation, that reassurance that, look, I'm going to ride with you for the next 2 or 3 years. We're going to get you to where you got to go, and we're going to keep building this thing.
Right. But check this out. How do you think now Florida State, because I think Florida State just got a new athletic director too. I gotta double check on that. But how do you think now Florida State gonna be looking at Dion in these next couple of years? They gonna be trying to get him, bro. Come on, you just too. Okay, you're an alum, you're the famous alum. You know, Dion, primetime, Hall of Famer, coaching at JSU, and you take our #1 recruit. Yeah, bro, I did that. I'm that guy. You know, that's what Dion is saying. But man, I guarantee you, Florida State going to be trying to look at getting Dion to JSU. I mean, Florida State going to be trying to look at getting Dion over back to FSU as their head coach if Norvell don't pan out in the next few years. I'm telling you, they're going to be at him hard and heavy.
Man, easily. Hey, but appreciate the call, man.
All right, brother. Easy.
Man, I know them Florida State alumni, boy, they calling that black boy all kind of N-words. What's up? Where we at? We need 12 more likes, guys. God, dog, man. How hard is it to just freaking like the stream? God dang. 250, man. I'm trying to move on with the show. You got the like police over here trying to make sure it got 250, man. Just like the stream. Huh? Logistics or operation? Yeah, you got my COOOOO over here policing up the like button, man. So get the likes right. Just come in and just do your job. All right, we're good. All right. And now, without further ado, you already know you see him on his YouTube channel, the Blue Bloods. You know who I call him, the boy one. To give it up for my man, Blue. What's up, Blue?
What's good, man? What's good?
Hey, listen. Everybody and their mama have been waiting for you to come on and talk about this move. You text me right before it happened, said it was official. I know you got your insights. Just tell the people what you know, Blue. Just tell the people what you know.
Man, listen, if I could share like my phone screen, I would. I texted Brandon this morning, like at 7:30 in the morning when Kenny Dillingham said he was leaving Florida State to take the OC job elsewhere. I texted Brandon. I was like, listen, Travis Hunter's committed to Jackson State today. And he was like, man, you're tripping. Like, it ain't going to happen. And I was like, no, he's going to go to Jackson State. Just watch. And, man, listen, I don't think I know on this channel, people understand how big of a deal it is. But I don't think in terms of like national perception, people really understand how big it really is. I mean, the first ever true 5-star to even go to FCS, not just SWAC. This is the first ever 5-star to sign with an FCS program out of high school. And on top of that, the number one player in the country. Almost consensus. I think ESPN is the only one that doesn't have a number one. And I said on a Grambling video this morning, ESPN don't know shit about recruiting. Don't ever use ESPN rankings for anything. 247 and Rivals. I mean, this is a monumental moment just in college football, man. And if you're not a Florida State fan, because Florida State fans are in their feelings right now. Listen, there's the Twitter Spaces. I follow all the big names. There's a Twitter Spaces that's just named Fire Mike Norvell. And I'm talking about every single national media member connected to Florida State's in that chat right now in Twitter Spaces saying that he should be fired. And I talked to my source. There's a chance Mike Norvell's fired today, Scotty. Like, real deal. Like, they're talking about ending his contract a day after he got extended and firing him.
But
there's a legit chance.
No, come on, bro. Like, let's be real. And it's not taking nothing away from the historic moment that Deion is doing. But if you're Florida State, this has to be the biggest stain in your listen. It's not like he went to Notre Dame or Coastal Carolina or Cincinnati, or he went to an FCS program by your former great.
Yeah.
That won the job and you didn't give it to him, and now you took your number one player. Come on, man.
I'm going to be honest, and like like I cover SWAC football. You cover SWAC football. CFL, Cut Day, DJ, SWAC Buzz. All of us like understand how big it is because we all cover the SWAC. But for people outside of like covering this area of football, I don't think they understand what it means to the fans. I mean, dude, I'll listen to you while I was at work driving on my way home. And just to hear Mr. Campbell call in, and he was talking about he might cry, and hearing some of the Jackson State fans and what they have to say, I wish this platform and like your call-in show and some of these fans had the platform to really express how big of a moment it was for them. But, dude, you're talking about Travis Hunter can call any recruit in the country right now and say, why don't you come to Jackson with me? We really need some O-linemen. We might need a running back. Listen, you can never have too many linebackers. We're losing our top 2 starting linebackers to the NFL draft. Call some defensive linemen. We're losing James Houston. Yeah, you still got Niles. You still got Antoine and et cetera. Man, listen, I mean, this is the single biggest recruiting moment in probably 30 years, man. Really and truly. 30 years. I mean, at least. And maybe ever. I mean, like if I would have told you, take Jackson State's name off of it, a program in the FCS called a number one recruit in the country, a consensus 5-star that has a 100 rating on 247. Okay, if I just took Jackson State's name on it and I told you before, we kind of knew each other, I said, listen, this 5-star number one recruit in the country is going to FCS. He's going to decommit from his dream school at Florida State and commit to FCS. You would have been like, dude, you got no fucking idea what you're talking about.
Wait,
not a single clue.
That's what I would have said to you. Stay off the weed.
And I mean, I really don't have words, man. I mean, really and truly, the impact that this kid could have at Jackson State. I mean, where are you going to throw? You going to throw it at Nugget? I mean, Scotty, put this in perspective. Nugget's the second best corner on JSU right now. Who are you going to throw at?
Dog. And then you just got the number 1 DB out of JUCO. So he might be your nickel corner. Where are you going to go with the football? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you got Cam and Shiloh who are in the box safeties. So Man City looks real good. And I'm not talking about the soccer team. All right.
And I think one of your callers, I don't remember who it was. I was just kind of listening. You know, they talked about the SWAC kind of balancing out in a few years, right? Next year's a problem. I'll listen. And y'all know that I'm very unbiased, and Jackson State fans, you know, call me sometimes a hater. Jackson State might not have a game next year within 10 points. I don't think they will. I mean, you literally are going to have to hope you can run the ball because you're not throwing it. I mean, you're really not. I'm sorry. There's not a wide receiver in the SWAC next year that can hold Travis Hunter or Nugget. Really and truly, I mean, it's going to be a problem, Scotty. And God forbid if they you know, land a Michael Please, if they get another offensive lineman, because the kid from ULM's legit. I didn't have time to make a video on him, but that kid's legit. He's the highest graded O lineman on ULM for I think it was 90% of their games this year. He's a problem. And so they get a guy who can fit in on that offensive line and be an ultimate improvement. And now on top of that, you know, no one really talked about this, but, you know, you had the spring season, the fall season for FCS football. And can we please give a round of applause for these FCS kids that had to play almost 2 full seasons in 1 calendar year? That has never been done. They avoided injury. They had to handle school. They didn't have a chance to, you know, heal up the way they were supposed to. That is impressive just alone there. But now you get this offensive line together coming in as early enrollees. And now, Scotty, they get 8 months to build chemistry now. There's no rotation in and out. And then they're probably going to return Tony Gray at tackle, and they're probably going to bring back at least one of the other O linemen. So at least you have 2 returning offensive linemen that could probably, you know, man the tackle spots on your offensive line. And if you can get one more probably guard in there and to kind of shore up that inside, man, Jackson State's going to be a problem. And just from the FCS perspective, Scotty, we just saw last weekend North Dakota State and ETSU was the most watched game in 5 years. Hit almost 2 million views for a quarterfinals game. Now you got Jackson State in the FCS program landing the number 1 recruit in the country. And this weekend, you have a sold-out Celebration Bowl where they had to open up more seating, and it's going to rival any other bowl game attendance outside of maybe the college football playoff. And you have a rematch of the national championship at the FCS level, James Madison, North Dakota State, on Friday night to kick it off. It is an absolute amazing thing to look for, man, in terms of FCS football as a whole. And for the SWAC, I mean, man, can you even put it into words really and truly?
No, you can't. And I've said it numerous times. The DSAC is live in full effect. Deion Sanders Athletic Conference, and the SWAC is just on a ride. All right, the SWAC is literally just on a ride. That this is what, you know. I can't believe this. It's like a girl. It's like Jasmine on Aladdin. Like, I can't believe this is happening to me. Like, I'm on a magic carpet ride and a whole new world. Like, that's what Jackson State is on right now. A magic carpet ride, and Deion is Aladdin. All right. And Jackson State is Jasmine. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. So Blue, let me because this is the disparity that happens in a lot of in football, right? You have this problem in SEC, but you don't have this problem because usually everybody in your conference, about 3 or 4 teams in your conference, can't compete at the level you're competing at. You just have different spots where your talent just outshines a lot of people. Now Jackson State is just influxing with so much talent. How do teams catch up, and do they ever catch up?
Man, if we had this conversation off camera, I'm really worried about them catching up, to be completely honest with you, especially like the Valleys and the Bethune-Cookmans and things like that. I mean, where do you even start, Scotty? Really and truly.
I
mean, listen, Dancy's a great coach and doing big things at Valley. Let's give him his credit for the resources that he has. But you can't tell me that him and that program are going to have the same pool that Dion and Jackson State have right now. Because you went to Valley, they don't have the 60,000 person stadium.
Facts.
They don't have the same media coverage. They don't have the same NFL riddled staff. They don't, and they really and truly, outside of Jerry Wright, they don't have the exact same history that Jackson State does either. I mean, Dion has made Jackson State hot. I mean, pretty much. I mean, they are national news. I mean, listen, you know me, bro. I got notifications and I talk to people. I'm talking about, I was at work today and I got nothing done today because my phone was ringing all day long. People calling me and texting me like, did you see this? Did you see that? I mean, it is a problem, really and truly. And listen, the comments that are rolling in, they're not lying. There's 2 more 5-stars that are talking about coming with Travis Hunter. I mean, it is. Listen, that Kamari Wilson kid was going to flip to Georgia. I heard that he kind of wants to play with Travis Hunter. He's a 5-star safety, Scotty. Where are you throwing now?
The question is, who's sitting?
You got to sit Shiloh. You got to leave Cam and him on the field. Listen, I'm not hating, and you could call me a hater if you want. I don't care. Kamari Wilson is 10 times a better player than Shiloh will ever even strive to be. Kamari Wilson is legit.
Oh my God, he just posted it on Twitter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've been getting texts that he's been leaning toward coming to Jackson State. I'm trying to find his Twitter because I follow him on.
How Kamari Wilson? I'm trying to get it on. What's his Twitter handle? Anybody got his Twitter handle?
It's at Kamari Wilson 1.
KEMA.
It's KAMARI.
Okay. All right. Only God can judge me. Blah 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 blah. Y'all ready? I see tigers. Only God can judge me. What do you say? Take away what
He
God
doesn't commit till 4 p.m. So I don't think he's actually committed because he's committing on ESPN. So if he commits to Jackson State, Scotty, it will be on ESPN live on ESPN 1, not 15, anything like that. ESPN 1.
Oh my goodness, this is crazy. My Twitter went up as well.
I mean, I mean, there was a lot of crystal balls had him going to Georgia because I talked about him on my mailbag last night because if he went to Georgia, Georgia would have 4 5-star DBs in their class, which is stupid in the first place. But I mean, really and truly, if he comes to Jackson State, Shiloh's going to have to move positions. He'll never see the field.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so break this down for me, Blue. You got Travis because I'm assuming this is how it usually goes in the Power 5. You know, my friend goes, I want to play with my friend, blah blah blah. So he goes to Jackson State. Who could Kamari bring? Because you know he got boys that want to come with him too. So who could he bring?
I mean, listen, man, Kamari's at IMG, and there's a lot of really good IMG players that have decommitted from Clemson for one. When Venables left, Clemson lost 3 top 100 player commits due to Venables leaving. So he could convince some of those teammates to come. And one of them's another corner, which would be just unfair at that point. I mean, he would be a 4-star corner, top 100 player. And another one's a D end. A D end as well, and I believe he's going to be a 5-star, if I'm not mistaken. And I mean, listen, man, if they get a 5-star defensive end on top of everything else, I mean, is there a SWAC team that you can trust to put 200 on them next year? 200 yards in the game?
No, I would listen. I would be like, listen, man, just can we get out of here healthy? Like, can we get out this game healthy and with our pride intact? You know what I'm saying? Like that's what so listen, man, Dion said it early on Barstool. He said they're gonna make history, and it's starting now. And I said it from Jump Street. I said, if you don't get a 5-star player, I don't care what else you're talking about, it ain't history. And he literally, I mean, the start of the day got a 5-star out the gate. Man, this is
not just a 5-star, the number one, like the best player in the country.
That's crazy.
The best player in the whole country, man.
That's freaking insane. So, oh my gosh, man, it's just it's really mind blowing me right now because of all I knew this was going to be a crazy day, but I didn't think it was going to be anything like this, Blue. Anything like this.
I mean, the fact that Travis Hunter's been the lead recruiter for that Florida State class for over a year now. I mean, he's been committed to Florida State for a while and was calling people and texting people say, come to Florida State, come to Florida State, come to Florida State. And I mean, now if he calls you and says, come to Jackson State, are you going to say no to that? I don't think you can. I mean, and you're talking about if Jackson State can land another 5-star, you went into the day, Scotty, not a single 5-star ever going to the SWAC, ever going to the entire FCS. And right now, there's a chance that they can land 3.
Ooh.
I mean, it's so hard to put it in perspective because it seemed impossible. I mean, if you would have told a Mr. Campbell or someone like 5 years ago that this would happen, he probably would have been like, shut up. You have no idea what you're talking about. And listen, the hires in the SWAC now, man, y'all better come.
They look real.
No, Hugh Jackson looks fine. Hugh Jackson's doing his thing. He's doing great. Alabama State, though, we got to talk. We got to talk, bro. Listen, if Deion's getting Barstool to throw $1 million at recruits, listen, I'm gonna need like Roberts Brothers, like real estate to throw $1 million at a 5-star right now. I need a house. I need a mansion. Listen, every recruit I need, I need to pick 2 cities of my choosing to go get a house right now. 2 cities of my choosing, and it could be abroad too. I'm on a house in Fiji right now.
Oh man, oh man, Blue. I'm gonna take a call. I'm gonna take a call real quick. Hey, caller, you live? Talk to me.
Hey man, this is your friendly neighborhood, second generation Jacksonian calling in. Again, always great job you and BLUEBLOODS doing. 2 quick things. Number one, for the people that's saying how long these players gonna play at Jackson State or how long they gonna be there. As you know, it's not about how long they're going to be there. It's if they there 2 or 3 years and get into the pros.
Facts.
Right?
Facts.
There's a college in Boston called Berkeley College of Music, right? They the top music program. Do you know how they recruit musicians to Berkeley College of Music?
How?
They tell them, we don't get you degrees, we get you Grammys. We don't get you degrees, we get you platinum records.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how Berkeley College is. And so that's, when you're talking about football, we have to understand that football is a business. Now, guys get it. Do I want these young men to get degrees? Of course I want these young men to get degrees, right? But I also want them to be able to get into the NFL. And so if they come, stay 2 years, 3 years, and go to the pros, that's really basically, what it is. The other thing I wanted to say is that what I'm interested to see now is what a lot of people don't know. Is that the state legislature in Mississippi, not only majority white, not only majority Republican, but it's majority the history. And so there are 3 things that's on the table right now that a lot of people don't know. Of course, number one is University Medical Center wanting to take the state. But what people also don't know that's on the table is the 2 years ago, the state legislator had already tried to take a 5 to 10 mile radius of downtown from Jackson. Just take it from the city. Say your downtown is no longer your downtown. It now belongs to the state. And then the third thing that's still on the table is that the state legislature is trying to take the airport from the city of Jackson. I'm bringing all that up because I'm enjoying this. This is a great day for Jackson State. This is a great day for HBCUs. But understanding the history of Mississippi and the history of the South, I want people just to keep an eye on how the Mississippi State legislature moves, because if you start seeing the state legislature talking about, hey, we want to revisit taking downtown from Jackson, we want to revisit taking the airport, and we want to expedite taking the stadium, this is going to be the way that, unfortunately, some of the racist whites in Mississippi try to counter it, because the majority of state legislators, which you would guess, are all Ole Miss and Mississippi State graduates. Mm-hmm. And so they've always, and I end on this, since 1920, now this is 1920, the plan was always to make Jackson State the University of Ole Miss at Jackson, because I think that Jackson, I want to say either Mississippi and I think Alabama may be the only one, you can correct me, but I know Mississippi is 1 or 2. It's the only state that doesn't have a PWI in its capital city. In its capital city, I think Alabama may be the other. So, but there are only 2 states that don't have a PWI in the capital city. And because so many white people abandoned the city, and now Jackson is majority black, I'm just wondering, what are those? We know the stadium deal, so we know we're gonna have to make a deal about the stadium. I'm just wondering now, how soon are they gonna revisit? Because you've been to the King Evans, you've seen downtown Jackson, right?
Yeah,
where you were staying, that's the part where the state legislature wants to take from Jackson and make it state property and no longer Jackson. So again, not raining on this. You know, I'm a second generation over the moon about Jackson State, but I just want people, and the reason I want people to do this because I know we all compete. But just one last bit of history. In 1995, the state actually tried to merge. They wanted to, in 1995, around the Ayers case, the state of Mississippi, listen what the state of Mississippi tried to do. In 1995, the state of Mississippi tried to turn Valley into a prison, tried to merge Alcorn with Mississippi State, which is illegal, by the way, because Alcorn is the oldest land grant college in the nation. And they tried to turn Jackson State into the University of Ole Miss at Jackson. And one of the things that kept it from happening, and Mr. Campbell probably can speak on this too, is that tens of thousands of HBCU people, not just Jackson State, converged on the state of Mississippi twice and brought so much light to it that the state had to back off. So yes, this is great about football, but if you understand the South and you understand the history of the South, this is also about politics, and it's also about the folks in the SEC, Mississippi State, Ole Miss. I'm just wondering what their next chess play is going to be to make sure that Jackson State and HBCU done right. And I'll shut up talking. Thank you, man.
I appreciate it. All right, I'm going back to the timer because we ain't got time for that. Y'all killing my buzz, and I got 722 people in here. All right, but I always appreciate them for calling in and talking about some history and everything like that. Listen, if you're new to the stream, like the stream, everything like that, make sure you go check out my man Blue Bloods. I'm gonna put his link in the description below as well. Make sure you go check his channel out. He is the godfather of Power 5, Group of 5. See, whatever you want to know about football, my man Blue knows it, and the boy wonder. All right, now Blue, let me ask you this: where can Jackson State land with, if everything being said, they get the Kamari kid, they got Travis, they get the Kamara kid. Where can they land when it comes to top recruiting class?
It's gonna be really hard, man, because right now they're only like 115th in the country, technically, in the composite rankings. Because what's gonna hurt them in terms of the rankings is the depth of the class, Scotty, because transfers only count so much. And so they're not getting a lot of credit for landing those transfers from, like different, like the Indiana kid, the ULM kid. Those only count as like 3 stars technically. But right now with Travis Hunter, they are right now they're like 115th. I think they can probably do top 60 if everything rides. And I talked about it yesterday on the mailbag. What's gonna hurt Jackson State is, like, you're never gonna see a top like 20 class most likely, because you're talking about when you get those top 20s. Like right now, the best school that I know how to talk about is Auburn, because that's my school. I mean, Auburn right now is like 13th in the country, and they got like 9 4 stars, 8 3 stars, and like multiple transfers. Like Auburn landed the #1 JUCO DB in the country today. They're in the running for the #1 JUCO defensive lineman. They landed the #1. It was a JUCO safety in the country, but they're only 13th, and they have the depth of like almost 20 commits. Jackson State, on the other hand, they only have 3 commits out of high school. So really and truly, I think it's probably top 60, maybe top 50 at best right now, just due to the depth of the class as of right now. But in February, that's where you maybe can slide into a top 40 class. And I think, and I put it in perspective, on my mailbag last night, a top 40 class is historic. That would be the highest class to ever happen at the FCS level. So I think we're trying to skip too many pegs here. I think a top 40 class is a good start. And then 2-3 years, you easily could probably have a top 25 class once he kind of gets everything established. But I think top 40 would absolutely be, it would be, I mean, historic again. I mean, you just landed the #1 recruit, so it's kind of hard to ever beat anything like that. But I think top 40 would be perfect. Yeah, top 40 would probably be where I think they could land at the high point.
Okay, so could they, I want to go back to what you said about the depth, right? So could they ever really, because, they got 85, SBS has 85 scholarships, FCS has 65, 62, something like that. So that's 20 players that I can add to my, you know what I'm saying? I can, that's 10 more 4 stars, that's 10 more 3 stars.
And that's why the comparison is so hard to make. And I know like Mr. Campbell and all of them talk about you shouldn't compare FBS to FCS. And that's why I think top 40 would be a safe bet. Just because, I mean, like you said, they get more scholarships than you. They get more scholarships with FCS. So I think that's where the depth of the class comes in, because they can fill it with bottom level 4 stars and high 3 stars, and then they're going to pass. They're going to pass you in the rankings. So I think that's going to be the big thing. And I'm glad you brought that up, because 85 scholarships to only like 60 something is it's a problem, and they need to change that for FCS, in my opinion. If you have the funding and the resources to have more than 60 something scholarships, I think you should be able to do it. But politics in the NCAA, I've already said that college football should pull away from the NCAA, because it is just the most corrupt like group of people of all time. So I mean, that's a whole nother conversation.
All right, I got a lot of people on the call line. Let me get to some.
Alabama State just flipped an Ole Miss commit though.
Ooh, okay.
It's Jalen Sultan out of Mobile, St. Paul's High School. St. Paul's is where I actually played youth league football. I played youth league football for that school. He's a running back, and he's a stud. Let me just say that.
Okay. Alabama State done did something. Okay. Hey, what's up, caller? You live? Talk to us. Hey, caller, you live? All right, you're not live no more. Let me see what else I got. Hey, caller, you live? Talk to me.
Hey, what's up, my main man? How you doing, brother?
What's good? What's up? Talk to me. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Marcus Johnson. I'm calling out of Oak Cliff, Texas, man.
All right, I'm about to put the timer on you, so you got it. Let's go.
Do you think that they can get 2 or 3 more 5-star recruits? Because I'm looking, the information I'm getting is saying 2 or possibly 3 5-star recruits.
It's on you, Blue.
If they do, it would have to be Kamari, and it would have to be Shamar Stewart, but Shamar Stewart isn't signing today. He's Shamar Stewart is signing on National Signing Day in February. So Jackson State still has a long way to go in that race. So that would probably be the 2 people I would watch if they get more 5 stars. But Shamar Stewart will not sign until like February 4th.
All right, appreciate it, bro.
Hey, appreciate it. There we go. See, I like this. Now I like this. Putting you Bamas on timers. All right, let me see what you got. Hey, caller, you live? Talk to me.
Hey, what's up, Scott? And I just wanted to call in real quick today from Tallahassee.
Talk to me.
Hey, so I have 2 questions, man. One, I just want to ask from a schematic standpoint. So now that you got this kid, Hunter, and you could possibly get another kid that can come play with them. I know we talked about this earlier. I don't see them sitting Shiloh Sanders for a reason, and that he's the son of Deion Sanders. So if you're Dennis Thurman, do you think that they change their scheme to maybe a 4-2-5 or a 3? I forgot the other said 1-3-3-5 or something like that to kind of fit more DBs on the field, or do they just stand back with what Thurman has for this year?
Let me say this, and I'm gonna say this: if they keep the same scheme and you keep Shiloh on the field over Cam, you can't tell me you want the best players on the field. It's now you're playing daddy ball. I said that with Shiloh. I mean, I said that with Shador, but Shador proved me wrong. I've seen Shiloh. I've seen Cam. Cam is the better in the box safety, because if you get a Kamari, he's going to be your free safety. He's a better rangy player. So if you keep Shiloh on the field over Cam, that's daddy ball. I don't care what anybody's talking about. You can call it what you want. It's daddy ball. Now, if they go 3-3-5, if that's not a system Dennis Thurman is used to calling, it's not going to be comfortable for him. He's more of a traditional NFL D coordinator. So that's why you see the 3-4, the 4-3, like that's more his wheelhouse. So I don't know if he'll feel comfortable doing the 3-3-5 if he's never ran it before.
Last question I'm gonna hop off, and it's for both you and BLUEBLOODS. So there was a comment that Dabo Swinney came out with. I don't know if BLUEBLOODS the one I'm referring to, but he came out and asked a pivotal question. I just want to get y'all's comment on it because I had some pretty interesting things with my friends, but basically he was saying that these coaches are, manipulating the student athletes, and that, it's no longer about the books anymore. It's just about going to the highest bidder rather than, going for the right reasons of the student athletes. I just want to get y'all opinion. I'm off.
I appreciate it, man.
Appreciate y'all.
Go ahead, Blue.
Make us full screen because we got to get the whole thing here. Listen, anything Dabo says, can we just disregard it? Dabo is a listen. Excuse me. Dabo's a fucking idiot. I cannot stand Dabo Swinney, man. He does not know a single thing he's talking about. Listen, he doesn't like the transfer portal because he likes to build his own culture in the program. Dumb. That's why y'all suck this year. 2, he lost his whole staff because he wasn't willing to evolve with college football. He's going to end up losing his job because of that if he doesn't get his stuff together. 3, it's always been about the highest bidder. It's always been about the best coaches, the best facilities, the best under the table money, the best benefits with scholarships, the best academic programs, the best stadiums, the best uniforms. It's always been the highest bidder. He's just mad because he can't connect with recruits anymore. He lost his 2 best recruiters in Tony Elliott and Dabo Swinney. Listen, the dude is so disconnected from just mainstream culture that anything he says, y'all just need to take with a grain of salt. He has no idea what he's talking about. He literally just talks out of his you know what. And listen, just don't disregard Dabo Swinney because I don't think in 5 years he's going to be the head coach of Clemson the way he's going.
Wow, that's that. And you heard it from my man, Boy Wonder. All right, get the likes up. All right, I put his stuff in the description below. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. It's in the description below. All right, matter of fact, I'm gonna put the whole link on here so y'all Bammers can do that as well. Go to my man. Listen, if you want some high level, all right, not that baloney you be getting from ESPN with talking heads and suits. My man is the hardest working guy. He does 3 conferences, Group of 5, Power 5. Make sure you go log into his channel, subscribe. All right. Tell him Scotty sent you. Said Scotty sent me. I was watching y'all. I loved it. That's what you do. All right. Make sure you hit my man up. Let me get another caller in here real quick. All right. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
What's up, Scotty, man? Hey, man, I haven't cried this much since Texas beat USC.
All right. You got the timer on, so don't take forever.
I'm not going to take forever, man. Listen, I think Zach is coming. I think Evans is coming. I don't think we're gonna miss out on anything for the next 3 or 4 years. But I just think it's amazing, man. We deserve this. I'm super excited, and I'm sitting here crying, bro. I'm waiting on ESPN to show me the rest of this shit.
Hey, and let me ask you this. I paused it for you. Let's talk for a minute. So when you said, what about? Are you a Jackson State alum? Are you a Jackson State native? And tell me.
I'm from Mississippi. I'm a big Jackson State fan. I'm a huge Deion Sanders fan.
Mm-hmm. That's what's up. That's what's up. Hey man, listen, it's a monumental day. Enjoy it. Get you a drink, eat some popcorn. You know what I'm saying? Sit back.
Already, man. I'm happy.
That's what's up, man. Hey, shout out to y'all. Shout out to what you do, man. Appreciate the call.
Oh, and one more thing. The whole SWAC and everybody else in FBS. Do y'all think we're oblivious now? Do y'all think we just making shit up as Jackson State fans?
I mean, before, but I appreciate it, man. Now, let's be honest, Blue. Before, they were like, we got 4 and 5 stars. And they had no 5 stars.
Hey, now they got a 5-star. They got the number 1 5-star in the country.
Listen. Once again, we ain't here, but listen. I just want y'all, listen, I'm here for it. Let's run it. I'm going to run it with my man Blue here.
You need the shakers.
J S U
I saw you had to put that FAMU shaker down. That would have been, they would have came for you.
Yeah.
They would have came for you on that one.
They're like, put my.
She's taking all the gifts back. All those gifts are going to be shipped back to Tallahassee.
Dr. Lori's like, don't you better not use my pom-pom for that crap. Oh man, let me get Bud in here real quick. What's up, Bud? Talk to me.
Scott, I told you earlier. I called you earlier, damn it. I told you I was gonna call you back when it breaks.
You said it.
I told you. Hey, well, listen, Scotty. For you and Blue, I want you to hear this, man. I'm calling it right now. By the end of the day, we're gonna have between high 40 and low 30 class. On the last signing day in February, we're gonna pull in the top 20. You tell Blue, remember I said it, because he's gonna have to change Bud name to Baby Blue. Remember I said it. What he's looking over is the number of 5-stars that's possibly gonna sign today, along with the 4-stars that's gonna sign later on. It's gonna start to push that class right on up through the roof. Everybody don't get 5-stars, but when you know that, be truthful now.
That's fair. No, you're right. You're right.
Hey, so if they pull in if they pull in 3 5-stars, along with all the 4-stars that's gonna come and the 3-stars that's gonna fill in this class, that's gonna be a top 20 class. Blue, I called it first. Give me credit.
I'll shout you out and everything, man. Trust me, I got you down.
Hey, appreciate the call, Bud. Hey, Bud called it early this morning. Definitely did. All right, let me get some of these members in. I wanted to get some guys that I know called in earlier. Hey, what's up, Doc? Talk to me. You on a timer?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. First of all, I just want to say I appreciate everything y'all doing to keep us updated. Man, today is a beautiful day. I couldn't believe it when I seen it. My brother, man, he's a long, diehard Florida State fan for over 15 years. I had to call him and break the news. He almost passed out on the phone when I told him he got flipped to JSU. But overall, he's happy, man, that HBCU is making some big moves like this. Hopefully the bug spread around all the schools in the HBCU, man. I'm just excited today, not just with Jackson State. And yes, we are going to get some more talent coming in. I believe we're going to flip some more people, man. But I'm just excited, man. But I appreciate y'all for bringing out this news every day, man, keeping us updated. And we always don't like what y'all say, but y'all on top of y'all game. We need y'all. Keep doing y'all thing, man. I'm out of here, man. Go JSU.
Appreciate it, Doc. Man, I really love this timer. I really like people know in the back of their mind, I got to get my stuff and I got to get up out of here. All right. Now, Blue, like, somebody, hold on. Before I, somebody said I'm jumping off the Quincy Casey bandwagon.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
Listen, bro, you cannot come. Y'all Bama's just be saying anything, right? Because if you put Quincy Casey on, it's not a Quincy Casey day. I don't want to make it a Quincy Casey conversation. I just want to tell you no. Okay, I'm just gonna say no. It's not happening. All right. So, Blue, my thing is this: do you feel that Southern, Alabama State, PV hasn't named their coach yet, but do you feel that these programs missed on an opportunity to really, really push the envelope instead of going with the status quo?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, really and truly. I mean, listen, we'll find out. We're going to find out exactly how good Southern is, but really and truly, I mean, they really haven't been blowing me out of the water over the past, since they made the hire. And then Alabama State, they did flip a kid from Ole Miss, but outside of that, they haven't been super impressive. I mean, Hugh Jackson landed the kid from, I believe it was Southern Utah, and it was a former Oregon wide receiver. The kid from UCLA is legit. I'm really excited to see.
Oh yeah, talk about him, Holloway, right?
Yeah, it's like Halloween. I think the kid is great, man. The arm strength is on point with him, man. That's his biggest asset is his arm strength, and on top of that, his athleticism in the pocket. and I tried to make this distinction on my show, is he's not a dual threat guy. He's not going to take off like a Lamar Jackson. He's more athletic in the pocket, similar to how like an Aaron Rodgers is, where if there's pressure, he's fast enough and athletic enough to get out of the pocket, but he's always looking to set his feet and trying to find that downfield throw. And that's a great quality that is really hard to instill in a kid, but he has it. The only thing that I think you could take away from him, his footwork is a little off. But I think when you got a coach like Hugh Jackson, that's something you can fix. Footwork is something you could always fix. His release is good. His ball placement is good, especially in those longer intermediate throws, Scotty, the 15 to like 20-yard range. He can put it on a dime in that area. That's where he really excels. And I think that's what's really been missing with some of the other SWAC quarterbacks that we've seen, is that once they start going downfield and in those intermediate routes, like with the Juwan pass, they just weren't there. I mean, Juwan Pass couldn't hit an intermediate route for anything.
That
really
was not
truly.
yeah,
I mean,
that was not his strong suit of his game. And honestly, the strongest part of his game is what failed him in the SWAC championship game, and that was the most surprising part of me. Now, I think, Blue, for me, is this: if the quarterback play does not, there's a lot of things that you can be deficient in on one side of the ball or whatever, but I feel as though if the signal caller is a weak point of your team, when you step up against Jackson State, you're going to have problems. We already know that, the D-line of Jackson State. We already know about the front seven. You see the DBs, what it is now. Listen, Travis Hunter, and once again, this is history in the making. We're talking football now, right? I don't give a damn how good you are. You only get covered for so long. All right. That's facts. All right. That is extremely facts. But if you don't have the play caller, if you don't have the signal caller back there, you're working. I feel like you're working backwards. You're hustling backwards, as they would say. So I think that's the biggest thing. I think the SWAC as a whole. Hey, Markel Outlaw, bro, you're like 2 seconds away from getting blocked. Chill out, bro. Chill out. All right. So, I think that's the biggest thing that the SWAC needs to really focus on, is upgrading the quarterback play. And I think a lot of it will come, as a whole together and kind of move up. But Jackson State is a tall mountain to climb right now. Tall mountain.
Listen, when you look at the quarterbacks right now, Scotty, so we'll put Halloween in at Grambling. Okay, he'll be the starter. We'll see what happens. I'm guessing, I don't know who Southern's going with next year. I don't know if they're going to try to bring in somebody or they're going with one of the quarterbacks they had last year. Texas Southern's got body. PV's going to have to find they're going to have to find somebody. FAMU will either have McKay or a transfer in there. Bethune's got Jalen Jones. Alabama State will kind of see the kid that they played last year. I don't remember I'm blanking on his name.
John Jr.,
the junior kid. I'll call him Junior. He looked good. Owens Jr. He looked solid. So I'm assuming he'll get the job. And then Alabama A&M, we'll assume Quincy's going to get that job. We'll just place him in there right now. What quarterback in the SWAC right now scares Jackson State?
Nobody.
None, right?
Nobody.
Because listen, I love Andrew Body, and his dad's a big supporter of like my show. So shout out to them. He doesn't have the accuracy to really compete with Jackson State secondary with the addition of Travis Hunter. You look at Southern. I'm sorry, Southern fans, y'all ain't got a good quarterback. Y'all are atrocious at quarterback. That's by far the biggest weakness. Yeah. And no one can push the ball down the field. God forbid McKay goes in there, man. We saw what happened to McKay the first game, and that's what Jackson State. I mean, if you put Travis Hunter and Nugget out there with Cam, with all, listen, McKay might not throw for 50 yards at this point. I'm sorry. McKay struggled with Southeastern Louisiana secondary.
Oh my God!
It's gonna be a long day. And Jalen Jones, I don't think he's gonna want to see anything what's coming. And there's not a quarterback right now that, if I'm Jackson State, that I'm scared of. Really and truly, I would have no problem, Scotty, putting 7-8 in the box and playing man-on-man coverage every single play.
Every single play.
And I'm talking about, I am talking to Niles, I'm talking to Antoine, whoever the linebackers are, and I'm saying, you see that quarterback right there? I need you to take his head off every single play. We're bringing everybody.
Yeah.
And if you can force the ball out quickly, man, they're going to eat every single game.
Yeah, I totally agree, Blue. You're listen, and you're not gonna make it hard for the DBs because it's literally you either 3-step dropping it, you're gonna be in shotgun, so you're probably just your 5-step drop is a 3-step drop in shotgun. You're not gonna have the time like what we've been saying before was okay, you didn't have the time, but if you did have the time, you just eat the DBs up, just don't throw the nugget. Now you got 2 of your boundary corners are locked down man guys. I'm going 2 tight ends. Now I gotta test your linebackers because you're gonna throw out there sporadically, but now I gotta test your linebackers. Now I gotta test your safeties, and make sure they know what they're doing. Because at the end of the day, man mirror coverage can still be beat. All right. So I don't want people to think that, but you just got to find the mismatch, right? So instead of me attacking Travis and Nugget every single play, now I got your nickel corner. All right. If it's Keelan Kennedy, I'm gonna have to take a shot at him. If Cam comes down and guards the tight end, I got to take a shot at him. It's just you just gotta play. You gotta play the cards you're dealt, man. But it's not too many times, man. Listen, if you've seen this kid Travis Hunter's tape, bro, I mean, he is just bullying these kids at the DB position. It's not even fair. And he's 6'1".
And the thing you can't teach is his intensity on the field is something that when you're watching film really pops off the screen for me. He is not afraid to get up in your face, and he has the attitude of a DB. If Scotty, you play wide receiver, you know what I'm saying. Yeah. As a DB, you have to. They're talking, they're in your face, you're nasty. I mean, and he has no problem getting up inside of you and putting you in the ground in press coverage. I mean, if you're not, I've seen him pancake a wide receiver at the line of scrimmage. Like that is grown men's strength as an 18-year-old. And you have him and Nugget has that same attitude too. Yeah,
he does.
Where you're not, they don't want to give up a catch, a yard, anything. If you drop the football, they're upset they let you touch it. And that's the mindset they're bringing in. And it's crazy they landed Kennedy, who's one of the top 5 JUCO corners. Man, is he going to see the field?
And it's funny. I had kind of had him scheduled plan to come in and do an interview, but watching his tape, he doesn't actually fit what Jackson State likes to do. He's not a press man corner. He's an off man corner and he plays it very well. Very well. He's just not an up in your face bump and run type of guy. So we'll see. I think he'll be better in the nickel. I think he'll be absolutely a steal at the nickel because now he already plays off man. You know what I'm saying? So he can read very well. He reads and reacts really well. So that might be it. But listen, man, a lot of kids, I'm not trying to hear I'm not going to go that way because everybody going to call me. Hey. So I'm not here to do all that. But let me get to some of these callers real quick. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me. The timer's on.
Hello?
Yeah, you live. Talk to me. Timer's on.
Hello,
you live.
Hey, what's up, OFFScript?
Talk to me.
Hey, what's up, Blue Blood? I want to congratulate both of y'all for always doing what y'all doing. But what I wanted to say is, I remember when it said that Jackson State football team and the community they made up over $30 million. They have $30 million. To me, that's going to go into a lot of the football recruits, and I believe Jackson State is going to make the top 20 recruiting. Because one thing Deion Sanders always did, everything he always did it big, never average. He always did it big. So also it makes sense why a lot of players would like to go to Jackson State and play defense. Why? Because the defensive coordinator and who's teaching you the game. He learned from one of the best defensive coordinators that ever coached at the pro level. And who that? Rex Ryan with the New York Jets, was in top 5 in defense with Darrell Revis and with Buffalo Bills. So that's all I gotta say, man. I appreciate y'all.
Hey, appreciate it. All right. Okay. So let me say something then, Blue, if you got something. Okay. Dennis Thurman is running a scheme that is somewhat NFL-ish. Somewhat. And what I mean, and I want to be very clear about when I say I'm somewhat. A lot of teams do not man blitz as much as he likes to do it. What he does, he mans up, he blitzes and says, your team is not as good as my team. That's just straight up old school bully ball, right? A lot of NFL teams do not run that scheme. They do a lot of combo coverages. They do a lot of, will blitz, zone blitzes. Jackson State does none of that. So he might be, I won't say I can't say what he won't teach, right? I can't say what he doesn't teach offline or whatever, but the scheme he's putting on the field is not an NFL full capacity defense. Okay. I just want to it's NFL-ish. All right. But it's not fully NFL type stuff, but okay. But yeah.
And I would call it, I know that some people just like to classify defenses as 3-4, 4-4, 4-2-5, 3-3-5, whatever you want to call it. The Jackson State scheme is more multiple, in my opinion. I think that's a better word for it, is like that multiple defense where what Thurman wants to do is recruit enough athletes, Scotty, where he can run a 4-2-5, he can run a 3-3-5, he can run a 3-4, he can run a 4-3. He can change up the personnel on the field depending on the matchup the week to week. You see them, and Scotty, I told you week 1 with FAMU, the number one thing they had to do was run one of those confusing fronts to get to Jackson State's O-line. When you watch Jackson State, they do that to other people. Keontae and the linebackers will walk down to the line of scrimmage. James Houston will be in a 2-point stance. You'll see Niles Gaddy in the 2-point stance, and they're so multiple with what they're showing you in that front seven. That's what makes the defense so special. So I do think the best way to explain what type of defense it is a multiple defense, and you see that a lot about in college football, because you want to be versatile enough, because you see so many different schemes. Like in the SWAC, the Southern scheme is completely different from what you're going to see against Alabama A&M, completely different from what you're going to see against FAMU. So having the versatility to run different defensive fronts and defensive schemes always gives you a leg up on the competition in conference play, because you're going to play a multiple, year after year after year. So having that multiple look, they can't watch film and just be able to predict everything you're doing, because you could come out in a completely different defense and run a completely different scheme if you wanted. And that's what's going to make Jackson State so hard to beat next year. Yeah, it's the versatility of the players, right? So Mike Please is going to JSU, and he is really, if we're being honest, he's a stand-up linebacker that likes to put his hand in the dirt, right? So interviewing him, he likes to have his hand in the dirt. He likes to go after, he likes to pass rush, but in his body frame, in his body size, he is a stand. If he was going to the league, he's not Michael Parsons. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't run the 4-4. He is a stand-up linebacker, maybe like a Will, you know what I'm saying, linebacker style. But once again, his versatility allows him to put his hand in the dirt. And also, if they need to play him in space, he can play him in space. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how that works out. I don't know if James Houston is coming back. I think if he comes back,
it's right.
Listen, there's no reason to even watch SWAC football next year. Just turn it on your TV to get the views up and go do some yard work, because they're going to win every single game.
It's not even, if James Houston comes back, it's not even fair, bro.
It's over.
It's not even fair. I'm not even going to lie to you. But that's what happens when you listen, Southern and Alabama State. This is what happens when you go get a coach with a name. Okay? And really, if we just talk about Alabama State. All right. I don't care how many flips. Ole Miss commit flip to Alabama. No. All right. Negative. Hey, what's up, Smoke? Talk to me. Smoke. That must be on the call line. Hey, caller, you loud? Talk to me.
Scotty, what's up, brother?
What's good? What's your name? Where you call from?
It's Lawrence, man.
Talk to me.
Tallahassee, Florida, man.
Talk to me.
Hey, man, it's crazy. These Bama's down here on suicide watch, man. Growing up being a Florida State fan, and also my son at J State, man. These Bama's right here is on suicide watch for real.
Mm-hmm. It's tough. It got to be tough being a Florida. Listen, if you a Florida State fan right now, the only thing you should be doing is finding out Mike Norvell's address.
So I'm actually a Florida State fan because of Prime. So that but it's all good. I followed Travis Hunter's recruitment, and you said on the spaces the other night about Jackson State special teams. Think about Travis Hunter and the amount of kicks he returned.
Dog, I'm not. I'm not kicking the ball.
You add him returning kicks. You add him returning kicks with. I mean, Newman leaving, but you add him back there returning kicks with Zay Bolden, and you got problems.
I'm not kicking the ball to you. Listen, bro. I would just tell your special teams don't even come out, bro. I'm kicking it out of bounds. Like, don't even come out. I'm not doing it.
And the biggest thing no one's mentioned. I don't think anyone's mentioned it. What happens when they put him on the offensive side of the ball and you got him, Malachi Wadman, and all those wide receivers? What you gonna do then?
Yeah, if you watch the state championship game they played in, that man did work in that state championship game. So
a monster. He's a generational talent. I don't think people are giving him enough credit. I mean, there were people saying when he went to Florida State that he had the potential to be just as good as Deion Sanders at Florida State.
Wow.
Yeah, I know from being here, they were talking about giving him, people around here were talking about giving him, 15, try to give him 15 touches a game on offense somehow between offense and special teams. So, you bring that kind of talent, you put it in the SWAC. I mean, other people got to keep up now.
I can't. It's like this, right? I can't individually keep up, but I got to have a team so put together that it's a whole. I need a whole bunch of 80s. You might have 99 on one. You got 91, 99, and another 96. I need a bunch of 80s. Give me a whole bunch of 80s, and maybe we can do some work.
I mean, adding players in a big country commits to J-State. Hey, that defense is next level, like for real. Like being here watching big country during his recruitment with Florida State before he left, that dude's different. I mean, you put him in that defense, rushing the quarterback, and somebody's quarterback got problems.
Hey man, it's about to. I hope it don't get that ugly, but hey, appreciate the call though.
Yo. I mean, to put it in perspective, Scotty, his pro comparison from Andrew Irvins, who's the lead scout for 247, is Charles Woodson. That's his pro comparison coming out of high school, bro. Charles Woodson. I mean, Scotty, have you had a chance to look at his stats yet? By chance,
Travis?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay. So just let me tell you. So at the wide receiver spot in his career, over three seasons in high school, he has over 260 catches for almost 4,000 yards and 46 receiving touchdowns. And on the defensive side of the ball, over 111 tackles, 18 pass breakups. He's returned an interception back every single year he's played and has over 20 interceptions in his career.
What the heck? What? That's some Madden stats.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like being a two-sport athlete. Like what, bro? You're like that nasty on both sides of the ball? On both sides.
And man, he was named the player of the year in 2020. So his junior year, because he got hurt this past year and missed 5 games. His junior year, he caught 137 passes for 1,700 yards and 24 touchdowns at wide receiver.
Oh my freaking God.
And listen, this is how good he is, bro. He didn't come off the field because he was the starting corner, the starting wide receiver, starting kick returner, and starting punt returner.
Oh, so he LeBron in the whole game.
Listen, Scotty, I watch film, man. I'm a football junkie. When I said on my show, it was like probably a few months back when we covered him. He's the best overall athlete recruit that I've ever saw in I've ever watched film on. Wow. He's that good, man. Like I'm talking about, he is the best athlete I've probably ever watched on film, like since I've started my show, and that was over 3 years ago.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! This is man. This is about to get ugly. I wish I had the Bubba Sparks drop right now. Boy, this is about to get ugly. All right, let's kind of switch gears a little bit. Alabama A&M. All right, so. They got the 4-star Marquise Beason. I think that's his name, Marquez Beason or something like that.
Yeah.
They got a couple DBs. Let me see. Got the West Virginia transfer. Anything that you could talk about that? They got the Jaron Williams commit from Miami, the quarterback. Anything you got for them? Because they look like they've been doing work.
Listen, I mean, what I've noticed with them is I haven't scouted those players in depth as much just because it's been a crazy week with just everything else going on. But just kind of based on the little bit I know, man, listen, not all 4-stars pan out. We saw that last year. We know that not all these recruits pan out. But what I do have to credit Maynard with is he noticed where he was deficient at on his team, and he went out and tried to solve it. They got a D lineman out of Appalachian State, and so I called my guy who lives in Boone. He lives in Boone, North Carolina, like where Appalachian State is. I called him up. He said that as a freshman, started on that Appalachian State team that made a run at the New Year's Six Bowl as a true freshman, and the only reason he wasn't on the field is because of injuries.
So staying
healthy. So he's a stud. The 3-star kid from Appalachian State at DN is a stud. Now, the kid from Ohio, I believe it was, the DB transfer, he's got a lot of talent. I watched a little bit of film on him, but even if they don't pan out, I want to say at least Maynard is putting in the effort to try to fill the holes where he knew his team was weak. The one thing I do want to see is if they can upgrade some of the O-line positions. That's still going to be a problem because Quincy Casey, he could be all world, but if you can't block for him, it doesn't matter.
Does not matter.
It really doesn't. And, you know, when I look at the Jaron Williams commit, I know a lot of people said, oh, well, Quincy's not starting. Quincy Casey's a better quarterback than Jaron Williams, in my opinion. Jaron Williams, for me, had so many. He's an athlete, Scotty, but he's not a fundamental quarterback, if that makes sense.
Got you.
I think they brought him in for depth in case Quincy gets banged up because they lost, was it Dixon to the transfer portal too?
Yes, DJ. Yeah.
Yeah, they lost Dixon and they lost Aquil. I think they brought him in for depth, in my opinion, and that's coming from an unbiased. Like, you love Quincy Casey, he's good. I'm not as full on the bandwagon as you, so this is just my honest opinion. I think Quincy is a better quarterback overall. He's got a better arm, and I think he fits Maynard's offense better than what Jaron Williams is going to do. I think they brought him in for red zone because he's big and he can run that QB power and things like that and give him a little bit of versatility. But I think they brought him in for depth. But man, overall, Alabama A&M, I would say Grambling have been the two other teams, in my opinion, saying that in my opinion, they've been the most active in terms of bringing recruits in that fill the most needed holes. Grambling, the number one thing, they needed a quarterback. That's important, and they got that. Alabama A&M, they need quarterback depth and defense. They've checked off both those boxes. I think those two schools have done an excellent job bringing in the talent that they need to at least keep afloat in the SWAC. Because right now, I just don't see anyone touching Jackson State, but at least they're going to be afloat in the SWAC.
All right, let me say this, Blue, because I know this is a taboo topic on your show, so I'm not going to bring it all the way around. But with all the energy, with all the excitement, where does where does the SWAC go from here? Because to me, you got too much buzz to let a 9-2 FAMU team sit at home. You got too much buzz to let maybe an 8-3. Like, there has to be something in a postseason that brings a little bit more excitement than just a celebration. Well, you get what I'm saying? I'm not saying playoffs, because we are in playoffs. We already get that. I'm saying having the system incorporated with the Celebration Bowl, because you just can't have Jackson State run through the SWAC and then go to the Celebration Bowl. Like that, it's like you're okay. It's like this, right? It's like your big brother's been beating you up for so long, and then your little brother beats you, and you're like, yo, let me get a rematch. He's like, nah, you're good. I won. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what the Celebration Bowl is. The teams that had one shot at Jackson State don't get another chance to see you on the back end, because that happens in the college football playoffs. SWAC championship happens. Alabama, Auburn, boom. Alabama, Georgia. Georgia loses. Well, they can see Alabama again in the Final Four if everything falls the right way, so they get another chance. So, where do you see that happening? And should the SWAC look to do that?
Listen, I'm going to shock a lot of your subscribers. We share a lot of them. The main ones, rock with both of us. And Mr. Campbell's going to call in and be like, "Are you sick? Are you sick, Blue?" Because what I'm about to say might shock people. The FCS playoffs are going to try to keep Jackson State out next year. But they don't want to see them. They don't want to see them. Jackson State, with the recruits they have coming in, especially getting a kid like Travis Hunter, Jackson State could win the national championship next year at the FCS level. And you know how big that is coming from me.
Facts.
You know how big that is coming from me, because I have tried to tailor expectations because those programs are on another level. Jackson State, in my opinion, them, North Dakota State next year, and James Madison in their last year would be the top 3 teams, in my opinion, with the Montana falling about 4th or 5th. Next year, they would win the FCS championship, in my opinion. And here's and I see the comments coming in. The people who subscribe to me know how big me saying that is. And here's what I think needs to happen. You know how Dion just called Barstool and got, a big NIL deal for Travis Hunter?
Yeah.
He needs to call Barstool and say, why don't you sponsor our FCS playoff games? Throw in some money so we can host it.
That's real.
Throw in some money so we can host it. Because what's going to happen now is, now that they landed this 5-star, Jackson State will probably be about top 20 in the preseason FCS polls, in my opinion. And if they can host that first round playoff game and maybe host a second or third round game, they won't lose money going to the playoffs, because Jackson State Stadium is so big that even though the NCAA takes, I believe it's like so much percentage, Jackson State will be able to still make a profit off of it. So if I'm Jackson State, I'm telling the SWAC, let us in there, and we're going to show you why it matters.
Oh, come on, Blue. You need people with the pom-poms. They listen to this. They're like, hell yeah, Blue, talk, yo. Go ahead.
The only thing I'd be worried about in the playoffs is O-line play. They got to get better O-line play. But when you look at every other position, they got the wide receiver. They got the quarterback. I mean, Shador in the second year in that system is going to be a problem. Let me just say that. I mean, Jesus Christ, that kid is going to be so good in that offense.
Mm-hmm.
You got, in my opinion, with the people graduating, you probably have the top 2 defensive backs in the FCS right now, with Travis Hunter and Nugget. If James Houston comes back, man, I'm going to throw up, because it's going to be unfair. It is going to be so unfair in that opinion. And God forbid, and there's a lot of smoke behind the Zach Evans. If they get Zach Evans at running back, listen, however much money, like, I will call Mr. Campbell. He can come pick me up. We'll go find some money. We need Jackson State in the playoffs. We got Mr. Campbell could take FAMU to the Celebration Bowl. Jackson State needs to go win a national title, in my opinion. And I say that with all intent behind it.
Oh man, Blue, you gonna have these people up here. Oh shoot, they got a quarterback. FAMU got a quarterback. Jeremy Musa from Vanderbilt.
Oh man.
Hold on, let me share this with you real quick. Window, Chrome tab. Bam, here we go, right here.
Okay, so I know a little bit about this kid, just a little bit. He's going to be. I think that's a great pickup. I really do. The reason I didn't pick him is because I wasn't sure if he was looking at like going to the FCS level, if that makes sense. But listen, and everyone can say Vanderbilt sucks, whatever. Yes, they suck. We all understand that. But that doesn't mean that every single player on that team is atrocious. I mean, really and truly, I mean, this kid didn't start, I believe, last year at Vanderbilt, if I'm not mistaken. I still think it's an upgrade over McKay. I'm sorry. I know that might, piss some people off, but I definitely think he's an upgrade over McKay, in my opinion. Fact. So I do think that I think it's good, man. Like, I don't see. Listen, QB competition is the number one thing that I think FAMU needed.
Easily,
you had to push McKay at least, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you had to at least get him thinking about, losing his job, because they didn't have anyone to push on. So I think that's a huge pickup for them, man. I like the pickup. I still listen. If you watched my mailbag last night, you know who I want them to pick up. That Georgia State kid, I think, would be the best bet, in my opinion, for FAMU. But I understand that, I don't know if that's a possibility, but I still think that Georgia State kid would be a better pickup for them in terms of scheme fit, I would say.
Mm-hmm. All right, got another. I don't know if this is a new commit by another DB, a 3-star DB, Charles Bell the fourth, coming from Marshall. I don't know if he has if he has already committed, but I'm looking at it right now. Let me see. Boom. Charles Bell the fourth, another DB. I don't know if this is new or he says 45 minutes. So just committed to Alabama A&M. Charles Bell the fourth, DB, 6 feet, man. He got some big DBs, man.
Listen, if you could say anything, they got length, right? Like they're long. They got long corners, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy going on here. It is straight pandemonium right now. Trying to check in with some other ones that I see on Twitter. And if Blue, if you get any updates, please let me know. I'll go ahead.
Oh yeah, but listen, my phone. That's why I keep looking down at my phone just to see.
Yeah, you didn't know Woj. You the new Woj. Come on, Woj. Adam Shefty. Come on, man. Hit us with it. All right. So just let us know. Like you said, Mike Ples is already committed. What else we got here? Dude, I'm trying to see about this. Somebody said Big Country went to A&M, and I'm trying to.
I haven't seen anything on that.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything else on that either. So that could have been a false accusation. But as of right now, I got one from Southern. Trey Lang, defensive line, USF EMC transfer, committed to Southern. Let me bring this up real quick. So we got some players, man. They're dropping some names. Trey Lang, Tyler Spoiler.
I did hear that James Houston said he was coming back. I haven't confirmed it anywhere, but I did hear that Houston is probably coming back, and I am terrified for the SWAC. I'm not going to lie to you.
You can't block that kid. You can't block that kid, man. It's just ridiculous. You cannot block that kid. Let me take some of these callers real quick. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to us.
Yo, Scotty, what's up? What's up, Blue?
What's good? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yo, this is Nate from Savannah, man. I just got a comment for you, man. Can you please call the SWAC office and call the MEAC office and tell them they need to cut a nice check with Dion and Jackson State for this commercial that they just got them set up for the Celebration Bowl? I mean, all eyes are going to be tuned in to this bowl game just off the strength of all the hoopla going around this flip. I really thought it's going to be an outstanding number of people viewing it, but I think it's going to take it over the top now.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate the call. Yeah, man, listen. Don't stop calling it the SWAC. All right, that name is gone. Until Dion leaves, the new name is the D.S.A.C. All right, the Deion Sanders Athletic Conference. That's what this is. Stop it. All right, just stop it, because the SWAC is going for a ride. All right, it is going for a ride. It is what it is. Stop calling it that,
man. Also, I just got an update. Dylan Crowell, a second-team All-State linebacker out of Hattiesburg, announced that he's going to be signing with Alcorn on Friday.
Ooh, okay. You know anything about him?
I don't know anything about him. I don't know if he's really ranked. I just know that that he was a second-team All-State selection this year in Mississippi. So, I mean, he's got to be pretty good. And Hattiesburg has a nice high school circuit. So, and also on top of that, they need linebackers really bad, to be honest with you. That rush defense was not the best. And the number one thing for Alcorn, I think they got to get some size on the D-line. They got to get some bigger D-linemen, man. When you watch that Jackson State game, it looked like they were playing a high school defensive line. And truly. I mean, just in pure size, they got to get some size on that D-line. So that's the one thing I want Alcorn to get. And when I'm looking across the SWAC, all these offensive line, defense lines are getting bigger. I mean, listen, Jackson State, we know what they are. What about FAMU's D-line? Savian was a monster. You look at Gentle Hunt is a monster as a freshman, and he's got to come back. You look at Isaiah Land, he's not physically a monster, but his motor, and I would say his athleticism is off the charts for a DN. So I think the line of scrimmage, Scotty, what did everyone say when you first kind of got into this? The difference between the SWAC and the P5s was offensive line and defensive line. I don't think that's the case anymore. Or it's getting there. Let me say that. It's getting to that point where that probably isn't the case anymore.
Man, I don't know where this kid is coming from, but this boy is 6'4", 275, D lineman Dre Jones, Abilene Christian, just committed to FAMU. Man, this is a big boy. All right, this This is what D-line are supposed to look like. 6'4", 275. Dre Jones committed. FAMU on his Twitter right now. That's another commit that I seen on my Twitter, just popping them as they go. But yeah, man, this is about to be an epic year. Listen, I know you Alabama State fans are happy that something got flipped and you got somebody. That's all you living on right now. All right, that is literally all you are living on right now. If we've been 100% honest with you. Hey, calling you live.
Right now. All right, that is literally.
Hey, how you doing?
What's up?
What's up, Scotty, my boy?
Talk to me.
It's a real good day. You know, good for the SWAC, good for everybody. They the tide lift all boats. You know, I think the one thing that, you know, we overlooking is, you know, even though Deion's coach is Jackson, still in the SWAC. So the commissioner, you know, the commissioners do what commissioners do. They must maintain control. And one thing that Deion can do is threaten to not participate in the Celebration Bowl next year and force the SWAC to go into a playoff to get to the Celebration Bowl. So I think that's a real good thing to advance the whole division.
Listen, you can't force the SWAC to get you out of something you're contractually obligated to be in. You're in a 6-year ESPN contract that if you're the best team in your conference, you have to go to the Celebration Bowl. You cannot break that contract. So all the wishing and hoping, like, no, bro, like you guys, like the SWAC said, listen, when I was talking playoffs, when none of this was popping, everybody had an issue. Now, all of a sudden, everybody want to be on the playoff bandwagon. Oh, playoff this, playoff national.
No, I'm not on the playoff bandwagon. I agree with you what you were saying at the time. I just didn't call in. I was just kind of sitting back, you know, paying attention. But and you were both sides are right. Playoff, no playoff. But what you said the other day is it's too much money left on the table if you just go to the Celebration Bowl when nothing else happens, because you don't make any money in the playoffs if you don't have a home game.
Yeah,
so it got to be something. It got to be something in between.
And that I can rock with that idea. I can rock with that premise. But at the end of the day, I don't see the SWAC doing it. Now, I have heard. I was in Spaces one time and BJ brought it up that they might do an at-large bid for the second team. So whoever wins the SWAC championship will go to the Celebration Bowl, and then the second team will be the best record in all HBCU FCS, right? So that means Norfolk State,
that's
Hampton.
the your brand though, because you're not putting your best product forward. You're putting the second best product forward.
What?
And then what happened if the second best team go and win?
What are you talking about? How are you putting your? It's the best team out of all HBCU. So whoever had the second best record. So that's like saying FAMU would have got another shot at the Celebration Bowl because technically they had the best record. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, the second team go to the Celebration Bowl. The first team go to the
yeah. Okay. So the first team gets an automatic bid to the Celebration Bowl. The second best team in all of FCS HBCU gets that secondary bid to go to the Celebration Bowl.
It was consolation prize. I don't know. Maybe, you know, some out of conference bowl games, maybe, or something to keep the prestige going, something to kind of segue our way from football into basketball and other stuff. But you know, great show. I love it. You know, I know that Alcorn AD is also looking show because I sent him the link, so he's like, "Oh, good look." So hey,
no problem. Appreciate it.
Keep doing what you're doing,
Thanks,
buddy.
sir. Blue, let me ask you about that. How do you feel about that? At-large bids for the second place team instead of just having the MEAC champion.
I mean, I like it. I mean, how much more exciting would it have been if FAMU and Jackson State were playing this weekend rather than South Carolina State? But,
I would have been there.
But I also agree with Mr. Campbell as well that, you know, it could be short-sighted just because the MEAC was bad this year. What happens if one of those other teams goes on a run or something like that? And then, I mean, it could swing back the other way. But as of this year, I think FAMU probably deserved that, you know, a little bit more. And I think FAMU fans would have liked to see them play Jackson State in Atlanta rather than go play Southeastern Louisiana and have what happened, in my opinion, you know? So I do think I think the Celebration Bowl, they could have sold out if they opened the third deck if FAMU and Jackson State were both going.
Facts.
I mean, they could have matched the SEC championship attendance.
Easily.
Yeah,
Easily.
I really think that, and I don't think anybody in the comments from Jackson State or FAMU would disagree with me either. Is if it's selling out for South Carolina State at 6-5 against Jackson State, man, God forbid if a 9-2 FAMU team was rolling like they were at the end of the season to come play Jackson State, they would have sold out they would have had to build another stadium to accommodate what was coming. They can sell standing room only tickets hanging from the rafters. I mean, that's how big that game would have been. And I think it would have been huge, and that probably would have set records on TV, which this weekend's game will probably set FCS records for the most watched game of the weekend.
Easily. You know what I'm saying? Because because of all the new eyes on, because of the Travis Hunter, it's going to be crazy.
I said on my mailbag last night, if it doesn't hit 3 million average viewership, I'm going to be disappointed. I really will. There's no if North Dakota State, East Tennessee, who North Dakota State was a 26-point favorite at 11 o'clock on ESPN, hit almost 2 million. You telling me the Celebration Bowl can't hit 3?
Easily,
man.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right, Blue. You're definitely right. All right, so let me see if I got anything over here. Don't worry. Okay, so let me ask you this, Blue. And we're going away from Jackson State just a tad bit. If Alabama State beats anybody in the SWAC, is it an indictment on, like, do you blame the coach? Do you blame the coach that he lost to, or do you blame Eddie Robinson, or do you give credit to Eddie Robinson for doing such a great job? Because to me, I'm like, I think that should, like, if I'm being honest, and I hope Alabama State fans will get mad at me, because Grambling fans, they had to deal with this, so now it's your turn. If you lose to Alabama State, you should go back into yourself. You should go back to your mirror and look at yourself and be like, damn, I suck. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel.
You need to go sit next to Mike Norvell in the unemployment line.
That's how I'm looking at State, right? That's how I'm looking at Alabama State right now. Like, they're the new Valley for me. They're the new Valley for me. So it's a lot of, it might be a lot of upset alerts, but that's what they look like for me. How do you balance that? Because now if you beat Jackson State, because I don't like doing that comparing stuff, because every team is a different matchup. But people can be like, "Yo, I'm really feeling myself because I beat Jackson State," which you have every right to be, because they have all the talent that they have. So
I think it would be like 50-50, I'll say. How about that? So, like, you would have to get a little bit of credit to Alabama State for winning because they played a great game, but then it depends on what team they beat. If they beat Texas Southern, okay, it's 50-50. Like good job. Like you would have to hit the firebomb. You just have to hit like the golf clap sound. Like okay, that's fair enough. Solid. But if they upset like a Jackson State or a FAMU, oh hell, man. I mean, listen, everything that we said about Alabama State got to be taken back if they pull off an upset like that. I mean, really and truly,
yeah.
if they beat one of those two teams, I mean, then we'd have to eat all the words. But I think it depends on who, and I think it's a little bit of both. Like, you have to give Alabama State a bit of credit for playing a good game, but then at the same time, you got to be looking at the team they beat as like, okay, well, what are we doing here? Like, what's the master plan right now? Now that we just lost here, but if they beat like a Bethune-Cookman or a Texas Southern or someone, or it's like, all right, well, like that's all right, but like, just we'll give you a golf clap for that. I'm not going to give you all the praise in the world for winning that game.
That's real. All right, let me get a couple callers here. Hey, what's up, Smash? Talk to me.
Hey, Doc. I had a question. I had a random thought. I think for the future, with Deion robbing Florida like this, and let's say Jackson is becoming one of these, like, the power team of the SWAC. You know what I'm saying? Do you think it's possible that Florida will let one of their smaller games go and schedule Jackson State as a game?
Go ahead, Blue.
How much?
Like the Florida Gators?
No, man, Florida State.
No, Florida State's taking Deion's name off the stadium tonight. That's the point they're at. I promise you, Florida State is not having anything about Deion right now. They don't want to schedule a game. Listen, the money games, Jackson State would have to pay Florida State to play them. And I'm so serious. Like, listen, Florida State ain't even talking. Deion's calling to like give his alumni dues. They're hanging up. They're sending them straight to voicemail. It's like, we got your credit card on file. We'll take that direct deposit. We don't want to talk to you right now.
Oh man, Blue, you stupid.
No, man. I'm over here thinking like Southern play LSU next year, Grambling playing following. I'm like, okay, shit. Let's see if Florida, to show Deion, let's give him a money game. Let's see how good you are at coaching for real. I'm thinking the possibilities is because if they become this power team and the highest looking, if they really like bully the SWAC next year, it's gonna get kind of boring. So they need to start playing some big schools. So who's gonna bite that bullet and put Jackson State as a money game and risk that possibility of getting the upset? Somebody I just don't think it could be Florida.
It's not Florida State. Listen, you got to remember, Jacksonville State beat Florida State this year.
Facts.
They're not scheduling any more JSU teams. JSU is like banned from the campus of Florida State. They got beat by Jacksonville State. They definitely don't want to see Jackson State on the field, especially after what happened. I'm telling you, if you go to Doak Campbell Stadium next year, you're gonna be like, man, where's all the Deion stuff? And it's gonna be in the dumpster behind the athletic building, man. I'm telling you, they're not gonna schedule that game at all. I think Jackson State will probably get some lower group of 5 teams to schedule them, but right now, after landing Travis Hunter, I think a lot of these P5 schools are going to be kind of scared to schedule them, and especially a team like Florida State who just got beat by Jacksonville State.
That is funny,
man. That's the question. So listen, you guys, I know we see all these newcomers to the SWAC and all this new talent, which it's a good thing. All this new talent coming to the SWAC, and it's about to be a wave of ranked players and 4 or 5-star players. Hopefully, coming to the league over a span of 2 or 3 years. What do y'all think is going to happen to the amount of the players or the talent that the SWAC been getting? Do you think they're going to start going to like D2 schools, or what y'all think is going to happen on that era? Because the players got to play somewhere. But if it start becoming a trend to go to these SWAC schools, what do you think is going to happen to the normal players that SWAC schools normally get?
All right, so let me say this. There's a point where you have to. It's like a cataclysm, right? Like there's a point where it stops at Deion. Once you get past Deion, it's like, you're at the cliff and like, okay, like where do we go from here? You know what I'm saying? Because once he leaves, I mean, unless he's here 10, 15 years, okay, cool. Then you got 10 or 15 years of building a brand. But that's why I've been trying to tell y'all, Bama's, Southern, Alabama State, PV, you need to hire coaches with names so you keep the wave going, because the hardest thing is Deion has this wave riding by himself. He got this wave started all by his lonesome. And then the fact that you over here hiring Eric Dooley and then Alabama State hiring Remax agents and PV don't have a damn coach yet, you're not building on the wave. You're trying to diminish the wave. So I don't know, man. Like I don't see. I want to see more kids. FAMU is FAMU. They got their own brand. They're doing their own thing, so they good. So it's just I want to see more.
We good too. Keep going.
I want to see more. I want to see more of the SWAC carry the load of building like Grambling is doing. Grambling is trying to carry the load with Deion. There is no level of Deion, but they're trying to carry the load to do their own thing. PV needs to do the same. Southern should have done the same, and Alabama State should have all done the same. So once the one and twin powers and captain, when our powers combine, we are Captain Planet. That's what y'all would have been in the SWAC. But now y'all just trying to, because you think you're smarter than everybody else. You wanted to be the smartest person in the room and hire Eric Dooley because he know Louisiana, but I'm for damn sure he wouldn't have got Travis Hunter.
I mean, Scotty, who besides Deion would have got Travis Hunter? Go back to the other conversation we had, bro. Deion
I don't see you getting UCLA quarterbacks. I don't see you getting no UCLA quarterbacks. That's Hugh. I don't see you doing none of that.
That's not the number one pick, though. You know what I'm saying? My thing, you said ask the question. So, what are the talent that the SWAC is getting now, or like been getting for all these years? Where do those players like go play?
They go D2.
Because if it about to become a new wave of players, what are guys who who come in here, like, you know what I'm saying, go and play.
You got to go D2. They got to go D2. Or they go to another D1 AA. I mean, there's Southland conferences that are not good. I mean, at the bottom of teams are not good. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, what kids are going to start to understand is that it doesn't matter where I land. It's about what I do when I get there, because it's a transfer portal. So if I show up and show out at a D2 school, I can put my tape out there, jump in the portal, and go D1 AA and be hot. Go D1 and be hot. It's not about where you go nowadays. It's about what you do when you get there. What do you do with your opportunity? Because the transfer portal is hot, and you can go. If you hot enough at your school and you feel you big and bad, it's no different than a Hilaire from Alabama A&M. Had one offer when he got to Alabama A&M, dogged it out, and now he's at Bowling Green. Now I don't know why he went to Bowling Green. That's neither here nor there, but that's what he did. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, bro. It is what it is.
I feel yeah, Scotty. All right, thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, no problem, man. All right. You got any news, Blue, before I go to this next caller?
FAMU just offered a safety nickel transfer from Arkansas State, Antonio Fletcher. He's a stud. He was an All-American in the what are they in the Sun Belt?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a stud. But yeah, he just posted that he got an offer from FAMU today.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Any commits? You got any new commits?
No commits yet.
Let me take this call with Coach Green real quick. Hey, Coach Green, you live. I'm putting you on timer.
Dang, what about? I can't find a remote. Oh, there you go. Turn this volume down. All right. Hey.
Talk to me.
What do you think of what's going on? Because it got Dion is getting the LeBron treatment right now. His memorabilia just got burnt by somebody, and plus they got these fans on here talking bad about, most of them FSU fans talking bad about Travis Hunter now.
Bro, that's what fans do.
That's literally that's college football. I mean, literally, it could have been any school and that would have happened. I mean, if it would have been the same thing if Travis Hunter would have committed to Jackson State and he flipped to Florida A&M, man, all hell would have broke loose in Jackson.
Come on, man. Like it is like.
But I don't think. But you know what? Jackson State fans wouldn't be saying the stuff that they will. If you went to FAMU, Jackson State fans wouldn't be saying the type of stuff the FSU fans are saying right now.
Bro, I've seen worse in the SWAC sports groups. Miss me with that, bro. Miss me with that, bro.
No, they not gonna do this.
Bye.
Do we not remember what happened when Quincy Casey transferred?
Come on, man. Like, stop it, bro. Like, y'all Bama's be killing me, man. Like, I've seen worse crap in the SWAC sports group talking to other fans about how bad their school is, and this ain't this, and this kid ain't that. Miss me with that, Coach Green. Bye. Don't waste my time with that. No. And that's what I keep trying to tell y'all. Y'all want all the publicity, but you don't want none of the negativity that comes with being in the spotlight. This is what happens when you become a powerful program. This is what happens when it's all eyes on you now because you have this attention. Deal with it. Deal with it. You can either love the fact that you got Travis Hunter or cry about how they talking about him now. But they don't got him. You do. So stop whining. God, oh, man. Get on my freaking nerve. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
I got a quick question for you. Do you think anybody wants to book Jackson State, my alma mater, for a money game anymore?
Yeah. I'll take. Listen, if I was Ole Miss, Mississippi State, if I was LSU, I'll take that. Listen, bro. At the end of the day, the game is not played on paper. At the end of the game, listen, this is not the paper championship. You still got, but we all know Deion's not going to play a money game. He already said that from the beginning. So it's no different. Listen, bro, like Deion has already made that very clear. He said there's no benefit into playing a money game. Kids get hurt. Kids do this. Kids do that. You know what I'm saying? Stop, like, bro, like, no, like, and if I'm being honest, if I was Florida State, if I'm being 100% real, if I was Florida State, maybe not Florida State because they really suck. But if I was, I would take it just to turn the knife into you to show you I'm still better than you. But they lost to Jacksonville State, so that's not a good example. But if I was a better Florida State team, I would take that game just to be like, all right, you want this smoke? All right, we'll give it to you. You know what I'm saying? That's me. I'm petty like that. So, you know, what about you, Blue? What you got?
I love you. I love your show, man. But that is the stupidest take that you had since I've been listening to you.
Then explain to me why.
Come on, man.
Explain to me why then.
Because JSU would blow the doors off of Florida State. Blow the doors off of them. They will put up 10 points.
Bro.
There's no team in the
shut
nation.
the
There's
hell
no team in the nation that's
up.
going to score 3 times on JSU.
Shut the hell up. No team in the nation.
Time out. Do you say the nation?
No team in the nation gonna put up more than.
Listen, I will bet my entire 401k for the rest of my life. Bama puts 50 on Jackson State right now.
Exactly. That's why you hung your dumb ass up. Keep it moving, bro. In the nation, bro. Like, we get you're a fan. Can I get some realism now? Listen, I've been giving y'all all the praises and all the congratulations, historic moment. Don't make me become Scotty on this channel and start giving y'all some realism. All right, because y'all don't want that. All right. I've been all lovey-dovey, you know what I'm saying? Embracing y'all, patting y'all on the back for the accomplishment. Keep the peace. Keep the peace. All right. Keep the peace. All right. See, I've been playing the JSU Rock the House for y'all, all type of stuff. And this the foolishness you gonna do.
Oh man.
Hey, caller, you live, talk to me.
Hey, what's up, Scotty? CFL just said that Michael Cleave just committed to Jackson State.
Yeah, that was like an hour ago. Where you been at?
Late sleeping.
Boy, you been rock, bro. Yeah, Michael, please. He's just sleeping. Yeah, man.
I know that feeling though. Like you take that midday nap, you look at your phone, you got 15 missed calls, all the notifications, panic, just straight panic.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. That was my fault, but all right, you have your day though.
Nah, man, appreciate the call.
All right.
Hey, listen, man, I appreciate y'all calling in to tell me about some commits. I really do. That's love. Appreciate that. Hey, caller, you live, talk to me.
What's up, baby Stephen A?
What's good, man? Talk to me.
Hey, this for Blue Blood. I love you, baby. Well, I'll take that bet all day because anything can go wrong in that game.
You gonna take that bet? You so you go like Bama put up 40 on Georgia, right?
I don't care, but anything may go wrong. I'm gonna leave it up to God. Y'all day, man.
I feel you, man. I feel you.
Boy, y'all would need some angels in the on the gridiron for that one. I ain't even gonna lie to you. You would need some angels in the gridiron. Oh. Hey, caller, you live, talk to me.
What's good, Scotty? What's good, Blue? This is J-Rod, man. How you doing?
Talk to us.
Man, let me go ahead and just break down the gravity of this situation, man. I mean, the way it looks right now, Florida State, they may just ban the last name Jackson altogether. Losing to Jacksonville State, losing the number 2 recruit to Jackson State.
Oh, man.
They may not even play Grambling because the head coach's last name is Jackson.
Wow.
So and hell, they may not even play Michael Jackson songs anymore.
Oh man.
He said, "No more man in the mirror. No more man in the mirror." Go ahead.
No more Billie Jean. No more Beat It. None of that.
That's funny.
And but what makes it so bad? The gravity of the situation, what happened with Florida State. Let me put you in this context, and I know there are going to be some ladies in the chat, and they're going to feel what I'm about to say. This is the equivalent of the episode of A Different World when Whitley was about to marry Byron and Dwayne stole her at the altar.
Oh, what an analogy. Bombs dropping. I don't know if my man Blue knows about it, but all of us brothers do. Talk to him.
Florida State was Byron Douglas. Whitley had the wedding dress on, preacher there, Byron had the tux on, the guests were there, the families were there, the whole nine. Dwayne actually was not going to go to the wedding, but then he showed up. Walked down out and asked Whitley to go ahead and marry him,
she said I do. They were confused, didn't know who this she said I do to, but turned around and said, I'm sorry, Byron, and went with Dwayne.
Boy, oh boy. Boy, you hitting on that one. Who you hitting on that one?
Dion came up, stole your bride, Florida State, at the altar. Not during the dating process, not while they were engaged, but at the altar. That is the equivalent. That is about, you talking about low? I don't know if Florida State can feel any lower than what it does right now. That would be that point.
Yeah, go ahead. Man,
that would be that point right now.
Man, boy, you hitting on that
quote, the quote, the great Big Daddy Kane. What Dion was saying to Jackson, to Florida State at this point, battling me is hazardous to health. So you can put a quarter in your ass because you played yourself.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
And I'm a GSU alum, so I could say this. And now, does this? And this question is to Blue. Does this give Hugh Jackson even further ammunition to say, yo, look, to go to those high 4 stars and 5 stars, say, Travis Hunter has signed over at Jackson State now, right? So now you get to come to the conference where he's at. Plus, you can also turn around and say, hey, you get to come to a school that's got more Hall of Famers out the state of Louisiana than any school in the state of Louisiana, including LSU. And now you can say ESPN, Fox, whoever, they all deny they got to come. They got to come see you play. You worry about exposure, then you're about to get that exposure. Now, I think that's going to be the way it's going to go. I just want to know Blue's take on that. But I ain't going to talk online, Scotty. I appreciate the show. Keep on what you're doing. I'm holler at y'all.
I appreciate it, man. Go ahead, Blue.
I mean, I think I think that's the perfect argument. I mean, you could say, listen, man, you can even point to last year, man. We got James Houston, we got Nugget, now we got Travis Hunter. Like, we got the recruits, we have Shador. Like, come here and let's do big things together, man. So I think Hugh Jackson is loving it. I think even Eddie George at Tennessee State's loving it because it's bigger than just even the SWAC. It's just the FCS as a whole. Like, Tennessee State just signed a 3-star DB out of Lakeland, Florida, just now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, out of high school. So, I mean, I think everyone at the FCS level is doing that now. And if you're a SWAC team, man, I am calling every recruit that I was scared to approach and say, do you see what just happened? Come with us and we can compete against that. Facts. And, I mean, I think, like you said, man, it's a monumental moment. And I think it's going to be huge moving forward.
No biggie. Let me address Coach Green real quick. Sad when Scotty doesn't understand what I'm talking about, when PWIs for years been calling these kids the N-word and when they don't choose their school, but Scotty won't want to hear that. Bro, let me explain something to you, Coach Green. You call in trying to make points, but you're not understanding the whole picture, right? Yes, when a black kid does something that a white person doesn't like or whatever, they get called the N-word. But hold that same energy for when black people are calling their own out for doing something that they want to do or whatever they feel is necessary. Have that same energy both ways. That's what I'm telling you. All right. It's no different than when somebody gets upset, they say stuff to make you hurt and make you feel a certain type of way. Is it right? No. But keep that same energy for your own people as well. You can hold the white people accountable, hold the black people accountable as well. So for you to call into my line and say you have not heard worse stuff on the SWAC sports group or roughing the SWAC, you're a damn lie. Period. Point blank, period. All right? Because I got dealt with some stuff and I go on my platform and I clown back, they kick me out. So miss me with that, bro. Completely miss me with that. You don't. Because you're calling in, oh, Scotty, I haven't seen that. You're lying. I don't care. It is the same. It is the same. Because just like white people know they can get under your skin by saying the N-word, right? Oh, that's their go-to. I know what I can say to this black person to get under their skin. I call them the N-word. All right. Then black people go out and call the other person the N-word. And they're like, well, he's black, so it's cool, whatever. But they'll call you something worse than that. They'll call you something derogatory as well. Miss me with that. It is the same. just because white. I'm okay. We're not going down that path. We're not doing that today. We're not. I got the energy to do it, but I'm not going to do it. So it's whatever.
FAMU just got a transfer from Abilene Christian. Dre Jones, 6'4", 277 D tackle.
Woo! You said 6'7"?
6'4", 277.
Oh, I'm about to say
6'4", 277 D tackle out of Abilene Christian. Transferring in Dre Jones.
All right, let me get to some of these callers real quick. Hey, caller, you live? Talk to me.
Hey, what's up with Script? Listen, bro, Scotty. I'm sitting here thinking, bro, that fool that called in, bro, about Jackson State can beat anybody in the nation. Bro, I'm a Jackson alumni, bro. Listen, he need to shut the hell up. Cause, bro, only a fool would say that, bro. That's an embarrassment to the school and to himself as a black person. Don't call up in here, man. It's just speaking. Scotty, you ain't said this, but I'm going to say it for you. Do not call up here. This is a good day for Jackson State. Don't ruin with no stupid ass comment talking about it. Jackson State can beat anybody. Let us take this little moment and love on it and let us build. Please stop doing this shit. That shit is stupid. But all right, Scotty.
Hey, man, appreciate the call, man. Appreciate the call, boy. Yeah. That's funny. Let me see what we got here. Hey, caller, you live? Talk to me.
Man, Scotty, bro, this jump crazy. I just tried to get recruited by somebody I didn't even know. That's how much SWAC people recruiting.
Oh my gosh, shut up.
All right, but man, watch out, man. Coach Willie Simmons is doing this thing, man. He may be stubborn sometimes when it comes to play calling and that stuff, but somehow, some way, he got a golden goose somewhere laying eggs, or a golden rattler laying some gold eggs somewhere, because it's time and time after again, he either get these recruits constantly every year.
Gotcha.
Like every year he been getting recruits, man. So like you said, FAM is a brand. I put Jackson State first because they're always going to be first with Prime. But man, FAM doing this thing, like this FAM doing it, and them Florida State people turning in their season tickets, they about to go to the FAM game.
Yeah, man.
I had one boy text me. He was like, he was like, me and my dad ain't going to the Florida State game. What you know about FAMU? Because I know that band be rocking. Literally, text me that. Because I'll be doing my videos for the game.
Mm-hmm.
He literally texted me that. He was like, man, we ain't even going to the games this year. Expect a whole lot of Florida State fans be going to FAMU games. So,
that's what's up.
Like, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. But yeah, that's all I had to say, man. And Coach Prime, he know everything before we know it. I'm telling you, Jesus. He told us. He told us. Jesus Shuttleworth, man. Hey, and Blue Blood, I have a question for you. If Jackson State went out the conference, I know it's just a thought. How would the SWAC let the second team go to the championship? I guess that's what I'm saying. How would they let them win the championship and go? Would they bid their way out of it? Because that's kind of sticky with the SWAC, because that's a good idea, but that's how would they do that if Jackson State would be first and another team would be second? How would they go about going into the playoffs? Or just like, how would they do that? Because I don't know. I know a lot of people don't know that question. So you may know it, or Kofi may know it. Somebody may know it.
I appreciate the call.
I just wanted to ask y'all that.
Listen, before I get attacked for just answering the question, I'm not saying do this. This is just his scenario that he gave. If Jackson State finishes first in the SWAC, there's nothing you can do. They got to go to the SWAC championship. That championship game is the weekend of the first round of the playoffs. So if Jackson State wins the SWAC or their division in the SWAC, there's nothing you can do. The only way Jackson State could get to the playoffs is if they lose a game and FAMU wins out, or they would have to lose, they would have to lose the division to FAMU. And I just don't think Dion or that program's about throwing games. So it's just not going to happen. We can just wrap it up in a bow. That's what would have to happen. It's not going to happen. And we'll leave it at that. But Rusty Manziel of 247 Sports just mentioned that Evan Stewart, top 5 player in the country, number 1 wide receiver in the country, might flip from A&M to Jackson State.
And Texas A&M?
He's the number 3 player in the country.
Bro. Oh my freaking God. Oh my goodness, this is crazy.
And Shamar Stewart, who was crystal ball to A&M, is a top 10 defensive end. Has been retweeting reports mentioning him going there, and Rusty Mansell also mentioned him as a potential flip candidate, which means there's a chance that 3 top 10 recruits in this recruiting class could be at Jackson State by February.
Okay, this is my thing though, Blue. This is gonna sound really bad, right? I'm not gonna say it. All right, go ahead. I'm gonna get to these callers. Hey, caller, you loud. Talk to me.
Hey, what's up? This is Rock, man.
All right,
hey, I need Blue to explain something to me, man. What the fuck is going on, man? You know, with these recruits changing from FCS schools, for FBS schools, top level recruits, to FCS schools. Make it make sense, Blue.
Well, okay, so probably 2 years ago when we literally weren't getting any listens, we were just on audio. When NIL rumors were coming out, when the transfer portal was a big thing, I made the prediction that I thought it was going to help the parity in college football because more kids were going to spread out in terms of looking for NIL deals, transfer portal. If they're getting treated bad at a university, can go somewhere else. And I thought that it would spread out the talent. A lot of people didn't believe that. And I just think you're seeing the culture of college football is really changing, and such that player movement is being glorified now rather than being hated on. So in the mid 2000s, man, could y'all imagine a player opting out of a bowl game in 04? You go to the Rose Bowl and a player says, "Yeah, I'm not playing." Did you know what they would do to that kid? I mean, they would crucify that kid. And now you're seeing players now in terms of being paid with NIL. So now schools can use NIL funding to recruit players. So Miami, they have a team thing where now if you commit, you get a piece of the pie in terms of the entire Miami Hurricanes NIL deal. And they have a deal with the Florida Panthers hockey team in terms of you making appearances and things like that and earning extra money, so they can use that in recruiting. You saw Dion use the Barstool money in terms of recruiting as well, saying we're going to get you a deal, a show, and whatever you want to say. So in my opinion, it gave schools a platform or an opportunity, in my opinion, to leverage what makes them special, if that makes sense. So Jackson State, what makes it special is you have Deion Sanders and he's got to deal with Barstool, and you can leverage that to land recruits, which they did with Travis Hunter. And so what it's done is allow schools to lean into what their identity is and lean into their connection. So Auburn is one school I know very well. They're leaning into Tim Cook, the Apple CEO. Oregon's leaning into Nike, Phil Knight, the Nike CEO. So you can use these individualized connections at universities to recruit better. And also, I feel like players nowadays, they understand that you can play and be seen everywhere because there's ESPN 1900s now. There's ESPN Pluses. There's ways to get on TV and ways to have exposure. And no one talks about it, but the age of social media is so real. I mean, people in my age, and I'm actually shockingly a little bit younger than Scotty, but in both our generations, all of us are social media experts. Anybody at our age group can run any Twitter account, any Instagram account, YouTube channel for anybody. We have that knowledge because we grew up in it. And so right now you have a bigger platform than anything to promote yourself. So Shiloh has a YouTube channel with thousands of subscribers to promote him and his brand. And so what you're seeing with social media is it's more beneficial to be a big fish in a small pond than going to that big pond and just being another one of those fish due to your social media exposure and brand building. And so what I think you saw is it all culminated in social media growing. It all culminated in player movement and things like that all culminated into the shift we're seeing. And that's why you're seeing recruits. And I'm talking about not just even the SWAC, group of 5 recruits for Cincinnati to land the Desmond Ritter and Amon Gardner and lead them to the playoffs. North Dakota State with some of the players they get, for Cameron Ward to end up in an incarnate word, for FAMU and Jackson State Landon, who they're getting, for the UCLA kid going to Grambling, it's bigger than just one individual conference. But I think you're seeing just overall college football is going to eventually have more parity. And listen, you should love it. If you're a college football fan, you should not be upset about this at all. There should be no ill will in your heart. If you're a college football fan, more good football teams and more opportunities to see these players is a good thing for college football. And it's great that not all these 5-stars are going to one or two universities and they're kind of spreading out. And so I love it, and we need more of it. And in my opinion, it's going to make college football the better sport.
Has the playoff system backfired on college football, meaning that it's made some perennial powers literally irrelevant if they can't get to the playoffs? And so a person like Dion, or not a person like Dion, but a school that is willing to, one, embrace NIL, and then two, embrace social media, and three, you're able to create your own brand as a player before you get to the school and while you're going in. Does all three of those things also factor into a kid making a decision to go to this school versus that school?
Hey, appreciate Rocky.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's a real thing, is that you see in a devaluation of bowl games right now, where if you're not in the New Year's Six Bowl or not in the playoffs, and I mean, is it like who gets up for the Outback Bowl? I mean, really, Scotty, do you get up? Are you going to watch the Outback Bowl at 11 a.m. on the 1st?
No.
Do you know who's playing in the Outback Bowl?
No.
Okay, exactly. And there's a lot of people in the comments that probably don't either. So the devaluation of bowl games makes a difference. And also, I think players realize, and Scotty, you already know this, I've said it before, I hate the NCAA. I cannot stand the NCAA. And so players finally woke up and said, we're bigger than the NCAA. The NCAA wouldn't, like those guys in suits that no one can identify from the next guy on the street. They need us more than we need them. So why don't we promote ourselves, take care of ourselves, and why not make our career bigger than that? And why are we selling ourselves out for, whatever their agenda is? And that's why I think college football needs to pull away. We can get all into whatever you want to talk about with that, but for me, I think that's what it is players started valuing themselves more than the brand of the NCAA. And I love it because, in my opinion, it should be hashtag burn the NCAA to the ground always. And I'm probably on some hit list somewhere for preaching that. But in my opinion, the NCAA is atrocious. And I'm so glad the players finally woke up.
That's what's up. Let me go to Mr. Campbell. Hey, what's up, Mr. Campbell? Talk to me.
All right, my nephews, Blue, my nephew. First of all, I got to just do this real quick to FSU. FSU. All the FSU folks, we enjoy this shit. I ain't gonna lie, because this our asses get. So anyway, let me get on to the point of what I'm trying to make. Because FSU, you ain't shit, and I said it on wax. So anyway, back to the point. Let me talk about this recruiting, Blue, and something I saw. I'm seeing that FAMU is getting a bunch of big side defensive linemen. Now, you know the reason why I think that is? Because the only way we're going to be able to beat Jackson State is to push Shadir on his ass.
Yep.
That is the only way it looks like to beat JSU. If you got a good quarterback, the only way you can beat him is to put him on his behind. And it looks like FAMU has said, first of all, after they saw Isaiah Land get put on his ass by that offensive lineman at down at Southeastern, they said we probably need to get a little bit bigger on that front line. So I'm happy with the recruiting on that side. Now, to all the people, I'm just going to tell y'all, stop talking about somebody moving the playoffs. It ain't happening, okay? Can we please stop wasting Scotty's time with these phone calls? It ain't changing. It's already locked in. Stop calling this man, asking him the same dumbass question. And that goes to the Primettes, okay? Because nobody's moving anything right now. So Primettes, either sit down and listen or ask a good question, because you're wasting everybody's time. And then my last thing is, it ain't fun when the rabbit got the gun. Because what has been the argument from all these schools? We got better this, we got better that, we can give you this. Well, Deion said, I'm going to give you 1 million stacks, and I'm going to get you a job, and I'm just going to tell you a secret. See, all these schools, these football schools, they're not good schools. They're all right, but they ain't FAMU. They ain't Jackson State. They ain't Grambling. They ain't Hampton. They ain't MCAT. See, you graduate from those schools, you know people that are execs. So see, now the things that got even. And see, they do not want this to happen. So all these HBCUs, and I'm calling you Will Packer, I need everybody from FAMU to just sign and need to be in your next movie, bro. All of them got to be in your next movie, bro. That's how we got to even the playing field. I need everybody from FAMU that signed to be in a Will Packer movie going forward. But Blue, I want to get you ask you a question. What do you think about the recruiting with the D-line that FAMU is doing? All right, y'all be easy, bro.
Appreciate the call.
Man, listen, I mean, that's the key. If you don't have a D-line against Jackson State, I mean, you're not going to be able to compete, because what you have to do is make them one-dimensional and then have a pass rush. And I mean, I think Gentle Hunt was the start. You still got Isaiah Land coming back. You're landing some big-time defensive linemen. I mean, if Willie Simmons and FAMU can find a way, Scotty, to leverage this Travis Hunter thing into landing a top 4 or 5 star out of high school in these next few classes, we're going to be talking about one hell of a rivalry these next few years between FAMU and Jackson State. But I think when you look at the weakness of Jackson State, Scotty, it's still the O-line, because they're so strong everywhere else. So if you can take advantage of their weakness, like Prairie View did in that D-line, Jason Dumas is still getting sacks on Shedeur Sanders and getting in his. I mean, he abused that center guard, trio in the middle of that line. So if you're FAMU, that is where you gotta get better. And the other spot, they gotta find some safety replacements, because Marquise Bell and Antoine Collier are legit talents that are now going to be gone. You have to find a way to replace them, because that is good. That's going to be the biggest question mark for me, Scotty, is can they find 2 safeties that can even give me like 50% of what Bell and Collier gave you this year at the safety spot?
That's absolutely that's I think that's the 2 biggest replacements right there, because you're talking about the back end of your secondary. You know what I'm saying? And where the teams are going now, man, they're trying to pass the ball on you. Now, not every team is going to be 5 wide, 4 wide, but it's a spread style offense, and you want that back end to be locked in and straight, when you're going against these teams. And losing, Marquise Bell, potential draft pick, Antoine Collier, potential draft pick. Yeah, you're definitely losing some steam. Let me get some of these callers. Hey, caller, you live, talk to me. Timer's on.
Yo, what's going on, Scotty?
What's up?
All right, man. Basically, I want to talk to you about the Grambling situation, man. So I want to know, because I was listening to the coach talk. He had spoke a little bit. I don't know if you heard it yesterday. He was talking about building out the new weight room facility and training facility for the football team and everything like that. So pretty much they're going to pretty much redesign the football facility. So I was wondering, since Grambling, they have a lot of room for improvement, and they also have a lot of campus size, where they can keep building on.
Okay. So
do you think that Grambling could also be a good potential spot, up there to compete with Jackson State?
I think somebody asked me this question, and Blue, you can kind of jump into. Somebody asked me this question about how much time did you give Hugh? I said I give Hugh 2 years. I'm gonna let you slide. I'm gonna let you slide on this one. You kind of build it. You kind of getting this thing right, getting it situated, getting situated into your position. But next year you got to bring it. Next year you have to bring it, and I'm not gonna say it's due to your record. I think they're gonna be 500, maybe 1 game over. But I think next year is where he's really gonna have to step up and get it going and get it revving up. Because once again, comparing him to Dion is doing him a disservice. But to say he can't get some big time names is wrong altogether. What you got on it, Blue?
I mean,
question. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Blue.
Oh, I was about to say, for me this year, I think the goal is to finish top 3 in their division. Finish top 3 in your division, compete with, whoever you want to put in the top 2 spots. I mean, you could debate. I mean, we're in December. We got a while to debate that over the summer. But for me, I think that division is wide open. Alcorn took a huge step back, losing. I believe they're losing Felix this year. I believe they're losing CJ Bowler. They're losing a lot of big players. And when you look at Southern, they've lost a lot of pieces as well. So, I mean, really and truly, I wouldn't be shocked if Grambling won that division next year.
That's
really
fair.
And truly. And so for me, I think a top 3, maybe top 2 finish in that division is probably the goal this year for Hugh Jackson. But in year 2 and year 3 and year 4, you got to win it. There's nobody in that division that should be able to see you. really and truly. And so I think right now you got to say that in year 2 you got to win that division and get to the SWAC championship, and by year 3 or year 4 you have to prove you can beat Jackson State and Deion Sanders. You got to beat on one of those 3 years. You can't do the Kirby Smart and go to the conference championship every year and get your doors blown off. You got to finish the deal and win at least one SWAC championship in the first 4 years. I would say would be like the main measuring stick for me.
All right, Scott, I got one last question for you, man.
Talk to me.
So I remember like a show you had with me. It was like one of your last shows when you guys were comparing the Grambling situation to Alabama, like how they both were in the middle of nowhere. So what would be the difference? You know, all of this like time to build. But the only thing I want to say is, so Tuscaloosa is a way bigger city. You know, they have a lot more stuff to do. I don't know if you ever seen Grambling. There's really nothing out there. It's really small.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you saw all the NIL deals, like how you had University of Texas just sign an offensive lineman for $50,000. What do you think Grambling can do to attract these recruits to go to this university? Like, far as with these deals, what deals do you think they could possibly get to attract? Because in Grambling, they don't have, you know, they don't have a mall. They don't have like any big attractions out there, you know, like Tuscaloosa does. Tuscaloosa is a city, you know, a lot of people live there compared to Grambling, Louisiana. So I was wondering, what do you think that Grambling can do right now to not only get these recruits, but also help bring money in these kids' pockets?
I appreciate the call, man. We'll answer your question. This is my thing, right? Go ahead, Blue. Go ahead.
I don't know if you've ever been to Tuscaloosa. That is not a fun city. I don't know what side of Tuscaloosa you were on, like what you went and did, but I've been to Tuscaloosa, and there ain't nothing going on in Tuscaloosa. Nothing. I mean, listen, Tuscaloosa has no. I know Grambling's a small city, whatever. Tuscaloosa ain't all that. I promise you. Listen, if you're gonna try to go have fun in Alabama, go to Mobile, go to Montgomery, go to Birmingham. Do something else other than going to Tuscaloosa. If you took the University of Alabama out of Tuscaloosa, that place would be a train wreck. Please stop. Listen, I would rather go anywhere than Tuscaloosa, and I could be a little bit biased, and I probably am, but you're there to play football and go to your dorm. There ain't nothing going on in Tuscaloosa. You can take it away, Scotty. Go ahead.
All right, so man, listen. So I want to get to one of the comments, and this is where I was going with it. Listen, you have to use the connections listen, that's why I keep trying to tell these Bamas, man, listen, you're hiring coaches. I got it. Oh, Dooley knows Louisiana. I get it. You want to bring in coaches with their own resources. That is the biggest thing. Connections, resources. Yes, Dooley is a great coach. Yes, Dooley can do this. But Hugh Jackson can reach out to some friends at Rock Nation, can reach out to some friends that he knows, NFL players or whatever. Hey, this is what I'm trying to do for my guys. Can you participate? Can you donate? Can you do this? Can you do that? And then you end up getting a practice field. You end up getting a new weight room. You end up getting these things because Hugh Jackson understands the importance of, one, aesthetics. Curb appeal is huge to kids, okay? Curb appeal, all right? If anybody doesn't know that, Eddie Robinson knows what I'm talking about when it comes to curb appeal. All right. The house has to look good on the outside for people to want to go to the inside. All right. So curb appeal is huge. Secondly, facilities, resources. You have to have things that you're like, okay, you don't have this, you might not have that, but I can deal with this. I can deal with that. I can rock with you on this, right? That's why Deion is pushing that. They're about this close to finishing their brand new locker rooms. You have to have something to make the kids go, wow, because understandably, you're there for football. You're going to spend more. Listen, when I played at college, I didn't have a lot of time to do a lot of stuff else. It was study hall, football, practice, back to my dorm, maybe a hanging out 1 or 2 on the weekend or whatever with my girl at the time, but that's pretty much it, right? So it has to come down to Hugh Jackson using his resources, building outside of just what Grambling's on in the history and the tradition. And okay, that's cool. That's all great and dandy, but you got to have something to make the kids go, wow, okay, that's dope. Oh, wow, okay, that's cool. Or, wow, okay, Chad Johnson's coming. Wow, TJ Husmanzada. Wow, Carson Palmer is here. Like, that's the stuff that gets kids in your building. You think Deion was bringing young Dolph just because he... No, black kids like shiny stuff. All right. Somebody said that earlier on the channel one time. We as black people like shiny things. So bring the shiny. All right, give us the shiny stuff, man. Come on, man. It's not that hard. You're lying.
I'm fact checking it right now. Hang on. I've not seen anything about this.
All right. About Quay Davis? You saw that Quay Davis thing?
Yeah, I was trying to double check it.
All right, cool. I was about to say, what? No way.
Hey,
caller, you live. Talk to me.
You have to have something to make the kids go wow. Because understandably,
hello?
Yeah, you live. Talk to me.
Yeah. All right. Hello, Scotty. Yeah, while everybody's celebrating and I'm happy for everybody because I'm a Jackson State fan, even though I didn't go to Jackson State, it's making me watch football and then enjoying it. But you have to understand, once you start getting powerful, once you start getting noticed, people down in Florida and those boys smoking those long cigars and those sky boxes, they're going to be on the phone call tonight trying to dig up dirt. And what they're going to try to do is attack the SWAC. They're going to try to attack these schools. They're going to try to see who's ineligible. They're going to try to say this and that. So I'm just saying they need to watch their back because the more profit you get and the more people start following you, they're not going to like it. So that's my statement. Thank you.
Hey, appreciate it. Hey, man, Biggie said it best, man. More money, more problems, man. Listen, with great power comes great responsibility.
He's not lying though. Listen, and it happens at every level when a program that's not at like, you know, all like I'll take Auburn for example. When we landed our first 5-star basketball player, NCAA was in town like the next week. and we're on probation right now. Like we are Auburn basketball is on probation. Bruce Pearl just missed the last 2 games of the season for an assistant doing some shady stuff. So you absolutely can bet that this NCAA rolling into Jackson very soon to try to find something.
Hey, man, like with great power comes great responsibility. You gotta do your due diligence, man. Because listen, I'm not. See, I'm not trying to spoil nobody's day, so I'm just keep it to myself. I'm gonna let everybody rock today. I ain't trying to be Mr. Spoil Brad or spoil my fun guy. Hey, caller, you're allowed to talk to me. Hey, caller, you allowed to talk to me. 6482, you're live.
Hey, what's good? All right, I'm live now.
Yeah, man. How you gonna come in here like it's Soul Jam 1960 something, man? Like, yeah, don't hit your low voice on me, please, man.
No. It ain't like that at all, man. It ain't like that at all.
Go ahead.
Had to have my speaker on, man, waiting to get on, man. I had to call back, bro. This is Ricardo Wright calling back again, bro. You know, I'm a huge Florida State fan, and I heard people on here talking earlier. First and foremost, we all know that if Jackson State played Florida State right now, although they got beat by Jacksonville State and everything, Jackson State not handling Florida State as far as a win. You know, we had issues with Sam Howell when Coach Matt Brown flipped him from Florida State to go be the quarterback in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So, yeah, it was a lot of animosity towards the young man and everything like that. But the fact of the matter is, this is these kids' decision. And everybody be getting their hopes up. That's why I tell people, it don't matter till they sign, bro. They can talk all the noise they want, tell you where they're going for a year and a half. Oh, I'm committed. Don't matter till that dotted line is signed. And that's what Travis Hunter did. I'm a Florida State fan, huge Florida State fan, diehard, but I'm happy for the kid. I'm happy for the culture of HBCU football. It's just totally flipping the script. So to some of those previous callers that called in and was talking about all the Florida State fans. Hey, I'm a Florida State fan, diehard. Yeah, wish the kid would have come to Florida State, but I'm still happy for him, for his family.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the main recruiting tools is get to the moms. You know Dion was in mom's ear.
Facts.
More than likely Pops too. You know, if Pops is in Travis's life and everything, I hope he is. But man, I'm just excited to see what's going to happen and what's going to evolve. And for my man, Blue Blood, I've never spoken on the show when he's been on the show. What do you think is going to happen with Well, I'll just say this. To me, I'm doing a comparison. I think Jackson State and, say, Florida A&M, especially since I'm a Tennis fan, they're going to be like the Georgia and the Alabama in the SWAC. You know, kind of like how they just went head-to-head in the SEC championship. Man, I wish they could go back at it again in the Celebration Bowl. But, you know, I don't know much about that contract, the 6-year part that the SWAC has as far as the Celebration Bowl. And I don't know how long they've been into that contract, but I do know contracts. More than likely in that contract, they could have hopefully some type of clause in there, or they can actually modify that contract. I don't know how far along the contract has been. I don't know if they've been in it for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. I just heard you say it was a 6-year contract. Do you guys know the details on how long that contract, how long they've been in that contract?
Nah, I definitely don't, dude. Well, it just got renewed. I do know it just got renewed. So it's probably like 2025, 2026, something like that.
I'm pretty sure it's 2026 is what someone commented on one of my live streams, but I know I'm not off the top of my head. I'm not completely sure, but it's 2020. It's like somewhere around there. But yeah, I mean, in terms of your question, you know, about the comparison, I mean, I think the only wrench in that plan is probably Grambling right now. Because a few Jackson starts landing recruits left and right, especially out of California. Because right now, he's probably has the
LA, bro.
Yeah,
I know who knows Hugh and everything. So that's another big thing too. HBCU football out west. Well, there aren't any HBCU schools out west. Okay, the furthest are Prairie View A&M and Texas Southern, as far as, you know, being in Texas, but nothing beyond that. So for the kids that's out in Arizona, California, all on the West Coast, they now going to have an opportunity to step into this HBCU arena and feel something that they never felt before in their life. You know, it ain't nothing like going to a HBCU school. I mean, I think Deion Sanders' Jr. mom is a FAMU alum. Okay, so, you know, Deion was over there at Florida State, but he was partying at FAM. Okay, so all I'm saying is he knows that culture. Deion lived that culture for practically 4 years in Tallahassee. He just didn't play on the HBCU squad, but he loves the culture of HBCU football. He knows what it brings, and now it's just an opportunity to where a sense of Black pride and everything with these young athletes coming on, and everything you guys were saying about the NILs and all of that. Hugh's connection with Rock Nation and being out west. Rock Nation is based out of LA. Come on, man. It's gonna start being a gravy train.
Hey,
you're right. Grambling, Jackson State, FAMU, those gonna be schools to reckon with.
Hey, appreciate the call, man.
Next few years.
Thank you so much. All right, hey Blue. We've been on here for 3 hours. I'm gonna shut it down. We'll probably come back on, maybe because we're at the round table at what, 7?
Yeah.
So we can come back on maybe 6, do a little 1 hour before, and then go into the round table. All right.
Yeah,
so
works for me, my man.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this last call and then we're gonna get up out of here. Hey, caller, you live? Talk to us.
Hey man, what's going on?
What's up, coach?
I like the guy signing with Jackson State. You know, I'm gonna say some things, and I don't want you to get offended by it.
You got 3 minutes.
This is what I'm gonna say.
All right.
I like if I give you a name of Jackrabbit, I expect for you to be able to run fast. If I give you the name Voice of the SWAC, I want you to sell the SWAC. I want you to sell that SWAC. Now, this kid flipped from Florida State to Jackson State. All right. Florida State, the biggest name they had to offer to this guy was Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders is at Jackson State. He's telling the kid, look, I'm the biggest player ever played at Florida State, and I'm coaching here at Jackson State. You know? So I had a #1 overall recruit in the United States. All right?
What was his name?
Kid here.
What was his name?
You want to know his name?
Yeah, I asked.
Oh, Joe McKnight.
Oh, the running back.
#1 recruit.
The running back from USC.
Yeah, the running back.
Yeah, I
Joe
remember.
McKnight, the one that got killed.
Yeah.
All right. Now, USC, they had Ken Norton Jr. and Reggie Bush. I got a chance to meet them both. I still remember the conversation with Ken Norton Jr. I said, I bet you I know at your house with senior Ken Norton Jr. you didn't do shit wrong. But LSU and other teams, they were sending little names. So if the people that you got, voice that you got, has a lot to do with the recruit coming to your school, you know. And I know a lot of people thinking that whole way, man, this kid is he just taking a chance on his draft status by going to Jackson. That's not true. If that kid run a 4.3 at Alabama and he go to Jackson State, that he's still running that 4.3. If he was a 5-star going to Alabama, he's still a 5-star going to JSU. It don't matter. All right. If you go back on Jackson, they had Jacket Slater, Robert
You got 30
Walter
seconds.
Payton.
You got 30 seconds.
3 Hall of Famers on one team. All right. And they still came down to Alcorn and lost. It don't matter the 5 stars and the 4 stars you got on your team. It's the heart that's beating in the other team that's going to determine. And some of them boys is playing wide receiver for these other teams. They're going to go after this kid. Don't make no difference about the star. But this kid here, that Jackson guy, is a true 5-star. Ain't no bullshit in his game. I've watched him play wide receiver and corner.
Appreciate
I know
the
I
call.
got 8 seconds, and I'm going to get off of here. And hopefully this kid will turn out to be everything he's claimed to be.
Appreciate it. All right, so listen, okay, I'm gonna say this, and then Blue, you can close it out. My thing is this, right? If that's the case, right, there's a lot of kids in FCS that run 4.2s and 4.3s. I won't even say 4.2s. I'll say 4.3s. There's a lot of kids that run 4.3s. Y'all act like Power 5s are the only people getting kids that run 4.3s and 4.4s. You like it, that's not the case. So measurables and talent are like, the kid has all the measurables. The kid has all the skill set, and he's backed by one of the best DBs of all time. So he's going to be at the NFL Combine regardless of his numbers. He's going to be at the Combine because he's freaking Deion Sanders. He's going to put him in the Combine. That is what it is. But let's not act like there's not kids that have the same measurables, that have the same speed, but they probably just can't do what the kid does. But if you're talking measurables, a lot of kids have his measurables, 6'1", run a 4.3. You can find that on any rock at a Power 5 school. Doesn't mean you're going to get drafted. There's a lot of 5 stars that have not been drafted. So it doesn't have anything to do with me hating on him to get drafted. There's a lot of 5-star busts, and there's a lot of 2-star draft picks. There's a lot of 3-star draft picks. So just miss me with that one. But go ahead, Blue.
If you want the data, I'll try to find the link and bring it to the roundtable. But 247 did a study where they looked at 5-star hit rates and like blue chip recruit hit rates. So like they looked at how many top like 250 recruits you landed and how many like worked out and how many did it. And they looked and they gave you like a success factor. And like it was like Bama and Clemson had the highest success factor with the 5 stars that they landed. And then you had like Florida had the lowest because Florida landed a bunch of 5 stars and they all ended up being trash. And so like you guys can look it up. It's you just look up like 247 5-star analysis or something. I'll try to find the link for you guys. But that's the key is like not only landing the 5-star. And I think we've had this conversation on this show, Scotty, where it's not just landing the 5 stars, it's developing the 5 stars, de-recruiting the 5 stars, making them feel like they have stuff to work on, and then putting them in the best situation to succeed. Because let's say you were a head coach, Scotty, and I was like an OC or DC. Mm-hmm. If our systems didn't match the players we were recruiting, you could give us all the top 25 5 stars right now. If they don't match what we run, does it matter that they're 5 stars? I'd rather recruit a 2-star kid who fits my system better than a 5-star who isn't going to work in my system. And that's going to be the number one thing. And that's where you're going to see the Dennis Thurmans, you're going to see the Deion Sanders, you're going to see the TC Taylors really shine. And this is where money is made. If TC Taylor and these coaches can get these players developed and drafted, them phones are going to be ringing every offseason. And we've talked about this on the show. Building SWAC coaching trees is the number one thing that is the next step. And that's something that nobody talks about. Building coaching trees that stem from SWAC coaches is so important. And you can't look at it as, oh, they're abandoning our school, they're abandoning the players. the good part is if they go and are successful at another school and then they produce assistants that come out of their system, and the best thing for Deion Sanders would be if TC Taylor and Dennis Thurman, all these coaches went and got head coaching jobs in a handful of years, and they were successful and developed a bunch of great coaching prospects from their system. That's the next point, and that's how this thing grows, Scotty. And so that's the one key point I want to make, because it's great to focus on the recruits, but in the bigger picture, this is where money's made in coaching, is that you make sure you develop those prospects. And Dennis Thurman already has a huge check in his resume, the way he turned James Houston into a savage defensive end, because nobody expected him to move to defensive end from middle linebacker, and he became arguably the best defensive end in the FCS.
All right, before we get up out of here, Blue, if you got anything on the kid from Florida State, Jackson State Lands, Josh Big Country Griffs.
I have not watched. I'm going to be honest. I have not watched any film on him, but I will definitely do some research for our next episode and come with some stuff on him.
All right, too easy, guys. We're about to get up out of here, man. We'll be back at 6 o'clock. We're gonna do an hour of recruiting. We're gonna start the roundtable for the Celebration Bowl. Probably end with some recruiting as well, and then we'll be out of here and get out you guys' hair, man. But until next time, and make sure I got 554 people on here. Make sure y'all take y'all happy asses right over to my man Blue's channel. Subscribe. Where is your? Here we go, right here. Boom. So subscribe to my man's channel. You want the top-notch news, analytics, and all the breakdowns and stuff like that. All right, the boy one that does the do. All right, so take your ass over there. Go ahead.
I'm about to literally go record the Travis Hunter episode, so check it out. I already know CFL beat me to it because I was on here. I was ready to drop it, but listen, the Travis Hunter episode will be dropping in probably an hour or so, so you can find that on there. We already covered the Grambling hire, and I know it's not SWAC, but listen, man, we had a kid today. He kind of his interview got overshadowed. I wish I would have dropped it on a different day. PJ Burkhalter, he plays at Nicholls State, a 3-time Southland offensive lineman of the year, man. The kid is amazing. He's such a great kid, man. Make sure to check out his interview as well, man. He deserves the views and likes. I know early signing day kind of overshadowed him, but we'll be plugging that to kind of get it back over the next few days.
Somebody said you good, Blue. Somebody said CFL didn't drop it, so
well, we will drop it here in an hour, man.
All right, too easy. And in the link, his link, the description is in the link below, in the description below as well. So, all right, so until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. God bless.